help you choose the best option. So if you need to go to the post office and then FedEx or all
ATMs, more me banking at Farmers and Merchants Bank, member FDIC.
Kids grow up so fast, and so has the Arkansas Children's Hospital Jonesboro Clinic. This is our clinic's 10th year of creating healthier tomorrows for the kids in Northeast Arkansas. There's no need to cross the river or hit the highway for your cardiology or diabetes needs. Road trips are for fun, not for health care. The team at Arkansas Children's Hospital Jonesboro Clinic is celebrating by doing what we always do, giving your kids more time to be kids. Learn more at archildrens.org/Jonesboro.
Nettleton High School Athletics is brought to you by Gateway Tire and Service Center and Toyo Tires. Where there's always one thing you can count on, we go the distance for you. Before you hit the road for a trip across country or across town, drop by Gateway Tire and Service Center and check out the great deals on Toyo Tires. Whether it's tires or auto repair, you can always count on one thing. At Gateway Tire and Toyo Tires, we go the distance for you. At Gateway Tire in Paragould and Jonesboro, we go the distance for you.
Evolve Bank and Trust is now bringing full-service banking to Jonesboro. To celebrate, we're offering you $200 extra. Just open a new checking account with Evolve. Have at least 2 qualifying direct deposits of $500 or more within 90 days. Then we'll deposit $200 extra into your account.
The wide receivers for Nettleton, Curtis Smith, the playmaker. He is in the lineup tonight after suffering a concussion at Batesville, but he is some kind of a player. 49 carries, 322 yards, 6 touchdowns rushing. Receiving, he's our leading receiver, 19 receptions, 374 yards, 5 touchdowns. Braylon King, another receiver who's getting the start for the Raiders tonight. Man, what a big catch he had last week at Batesville. A great young man, a great player. And Q Thompson, playmaker number 2. Q has 21 receptions for 371 yards and 5 touchdowns. That is your offensive starters. The coin toss is going on as we speak. If you are watching on our live stream, then thanks to the good camera work of Caleb Andrews, you see right there into the coin toss. If you're listening to us on the radio, we're sure glad to have you. But if you're anywhere near a smartphone or an iPad or a computer, look us up, youtube.com/Nettleton TV. Our students do an excellent job of bringing the game to you, and they're bringing you right into the coin toss right now. We'll tell you about the defensive starters for the Raiders as soon as we tell you the result of the coin toss. They are the man in the white hat, the referee, he just flipped a coin, and they are looking to see who is the winner and what's going to happen. He's talking to Brookland, so I take it that Brookland won. And they did. Brookland won, and they have deferred their option until the second half. So Nettleton's offense, they'll be kicking off to Nettleton. If everything goes right, Nettleton's offense will be taking the field. Let's talk about Nettleton's defense. Jordan Pegram starts at defensive end. 3-year starter for the Raiders. All-State last year. He's on his way to another All-State campaign. Leads the team in tackles for losses with 8 of them. Number 9, he gets in the backfield, and he does damage. The other defensive lineman for the Raiders, Cam Phillips, having a great season. 22 tackles for Big Cam, 3 tackles for a loss. The young man getting his first start this year, Caden Newsom. Caden had some off-season surgery on his knee, and just now getting his first start. So Caden Newsom, number 58, and joining them on the defensive line is Keon Stallings, outstanding sophomore, has 24 tackles on this season. The linebackers, the All-State Blake Brown, leads the team in tackles with 44, 3 of them for loss. Number 9, that number 9 that has such a legacy at Nettleton, Blake Brown wears it this year. He is the middle linebacker. The nickelback is Kylan Shelton. He has 4 tackles for loss on the season. That's the second best on the team. He's also the backup running back. Something tells me you may be hearing number 22's name carrying the ball tonight. He's an outstanding running back as well. Cohen Liggins, the sophomore, and boy, he's had an excellent season. His first season on the high school level. He wears number 44, and he starts for the Raiders. The defensive secondary, Brendan Alexander and Derek Island at cornerback, Miles Williams and Jamie Morris at safety, and here come the Raiders. And, man, they are looking sharp tonight, running through the spirit line. They've got gold pants, and they've got black jerseys, gold helmets, looking awfully good. Brookland is in all white with red lettering, white helmets. Nettleton and Brookland just about to get underway. Special teams guys for Nettleton. Antonio Alvarez is the kicker. Joseph Newhong is the field goal kicker. Maddox Sampton, the punter. Deep snapper Jordan Pegram. Kick returners Keandre Pope, Q Thompson, Curtis Smith, and those guys also kind of rotate around on the punt return. And we are just about to get underway. Brookland will be kicking off. The very talented kicker, Jackson Sweet. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think this young man is next level. Incredible punter. Averages over 4 seconds on hang time, and that's NFL caliber right there. He is a great young man, comes from good stock. Jackson Sweet, his father is Johnny Sweet, Angela Sweet, his mother, and his uncle is Philip Sweet, who sings in the country music band Little Big Town. One of the most talented guys I've ever known. Jackson is ready to kick things off. Speaking of country music, maybe you're out listening to us at the fair tonight. Nettleton's own Jim Moose Brown is headlining the fair. The rider of It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere. It's a short kick. It's fielded at about the 20-yard line by the playmaker, Curtis Smith. Curtis looking for a hole. He is to the ball spurts loose. Actually, forgive me, it does not. Curtis at the 45-yard line is where he is brought down. Thought I saw pigskin, but a flag is on the play. And I tell you, if I'm Brookland, I would not kick it toward Curtis Smith, Jacob.
I wouldn't either. He is a playmaker.
Unfortunately, the penalty is blocking the back against the Raiders, so it's going to pull it back. Nettleton had good field position on their own 40, but it's brought back to the 30. It's spot foul. So 1st and 10 at the 30, and the Raider offense is out on the field ready to go to work. Be interesting to see how the Raiders respond tonight after a heartbreaking loss last week. Let's put that behind us, guys, and we got a whole lot of season in front of us. They give it to the Pope. Keandre Pope running right side, finds the edge, has the first down. A gain of 12 for Keandre Pope. Moved the sticks. Good run by the Pope.
And we see phenomenal runs from him last week, and here he is starting it off with a nice 11-yard carry. What a run by Keandre Pope.
Well, he had a good night last week against Batesville, and I expect Keandre will have another outstanding night. 1st and 10 for the Raiders, ball on their own 42-yard line. The Mad Dog, Maddox Sampton, he's going to pass. Complete to Cortez Smith. Near the far sideline, he runs and gets the first down. Looks like it's going to be a gain of about 11. It'll be 1st down and 10 once again for the Raiders.
And the Raiders are moving the sticks very well. I think they're looking out for vengeance here this week.
Yeah, you can bet the Raiders will be playing with a little pep in their step, a little steel in their eye. Maddox Sampton in the gun. Keandre Pope to his left. He gives to the Pope. Pope breaks left, now cuts back, is tackled forward to the 41-yard line of the Bearcats. It's going to be a gain of about 7, 2nd down and 3 for the Raiders.
And that was a good run, but great blocking scheme by that offensive line. I saw a nice hole on that left side, courtesy of KG and Ian Landrum.
Kylan Gates, Ian Landrum, left side of the offensive line. Zach Davis in the middle. 2nd down and 3 for the Raiders, maybe 2nd down and 4. They give it to Q Thompson. Q Thompson on the jet sweep. Hold on to the football, Q, and he does so. Falls forward to the 35-yard line, has the first down. It's a gain of about 7 for Q Thompson. Move the chains, 1st down Raiders.
And we saw Q Thompson run a touchdown last week, and he turns out to be a great running back, too, if we need him to.
Yes, he is. He's got about 4.6 speed. He is a dynamic playmaker as well. 2 receivers to the left, 1 up top. Maddox Sampton in the gun with Keandre Pope on his right hip. He gives to the Pope. There's a reverse. And it's a pass, reverse pass. And the ball is complete downfield to Q Thompson. He's into the end zone. Touchdown Raiders. Touchdown Raiders. The 2 playmakers, Cortez Smith on the little reverse pass to Q Thompson, and the Raiders strike first blood.
And Raiders playing a little bit of backyard football. We all knew Cortez could run the ball at quarterback, but who knew he could throw, and he did it very well there. Cortez, Q Thompson, touchdown Raiders.
That was a very good opening drive for the Raiders, and they have made a statement, I would say, right here at the very beginning of this game. The Raiders ain't down. The Raiders ain't feeling sorry for themselves. These Raiders are something to deal with, I promise you. Joseph Newhung out to kick the PAT. He wears number 30, and he is bad to the bone. He boots it through the uprights with 10-14 remaining in this game. The Raiders have taken a 7-0 lead. We'll take a 30-second break. We'll be back with more Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network.
A-State football and the Social Jonesboro are the perfect winning combination for game day. The Social has an amazing, delicious, fantastic, and tasty menu that goes perfect for pre or post game. Plus, the official Red Wolves away game watch party takes place at the Social. What we're saying is, it does not get any better than the Social on Red Wolves game day. The name says it all. Get social at the Social and get ready to howl with fellow A-State Red Wolves fans on every game day. The Social at Greensboro Village in Jonesboro.
We welcome you back to Raider football on NTV. Nettleton with a 7-0 lead after a quick strike. About 1 minute and 46 seconds on the drive, and Nettleton has a 7-0 lead with 10-14 remaining in the first quarter. We've got if you're watching on the live stream, we've got the scoreboard in the lower left corner. I realize it's a little bit small. That's the best we can do. Hopefully that helps you out as you're watching the game. Antonio Alvarez boots it down to the 15-yard line. Number 7, the return. He was tackled from behind by Miles Williams. Also on the stop, Kylan Shelton. He returned it about 20 yards, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Bearcats. And let me just see what, there's a flag on the play. Let's see what this flag is. It's a block in the back against Brookland. So he returned it out to about the 30-yard line, but some of that is going to be negated because of the penalty. They're stepping it all the way back to the 17-yard line, and that's where Brookland will take over 1st and 10. Barrett Cunningham is the quarterback for the Bearcats. Joseph Wright is the very talented running back. Pistol formation for Brookland, and they whistled the play dead. Flag on the play, and let's see what the issue is over there. Offsides against the Raiders. So I guess they're saying that the June bug was lined up offsides, I suppose, maybe lined up in the neutral zone. Looked to me like he was off the ball, but it's not for me to say. It's 1st down and 5 now after the very unusual offsides call. Kylan Shelton now comes trotting to the sideline, maybe some kind of equipment malfunction. Nathaniel Gonzalez comes in for him. He was the special teams player of the week last week. All right, 1st down and 5. Cunningham and Wright in the backfield. Pistol formation. They give to Wright, running left side. And he is stopped near the line of scrimmage. Gonzalez was in on the stop, as well as Blake Brown. Gained a couple. It's going to be 2nd down and 3.
That was a good stop by the Raider defense. They were on the ball quick.
Cunningham and Wright in the backfield, in the shotgun. 2 receivers spread out to the left, 1 to the right. They give to Joseph Wright, running right up the middle. He falls forward near the 1st down marker. Tackle made by Blake Brown, one of the nasty boys. He's helped up by his partner in nastiness, Jordan Pegram. And it is a 1st down for the Bearcats. It'll be 1st and 10. At about the 28-yard line. So the Bearcats get a 1st down, get a little help from a penalty there. 1st and 10. They give to Wright. Wright is wrapped up in the backfield, falls forward. He may have a short gain. That is Cam Phillips making the initial stop. Also in on the stop, Jordan Pegram, the carpenter, Jamie Morris. No gain on the play. It's 2nd down and 10.
And you love to see the murder man get in the backfield because he always wreaks havoc on any running back.
He is a very good defensive lineman, and the defensive line is going to have to control that line of scrimmage today. Brookland's got a very big line of scrimmage, a very big offensive line, and an outstanding running back in Wright. Watch out for this guy. 2nd down and 10 for the Bearcats. They're going to pass. Looking out in the left flats, it is overthrown. The pass was intended for Connor Marshall, and it's going to be 3rd down. We'll call it 3rd down and 9 for Brookland.
That ball was just had a little bit too much on the receiver. Great coverage by the June bug. Did not let him escape out of his sight.
So 3rd down and 9 for Brookland. Cunningham, the quarterback, in the gun. Joseph Wright, running back directly behind him. Pistol formation. Nettleton leading 7-0 here in the early going of the 1st quarter. He's dropping back to pass. Under pressure by Keon Stallings. He's going to run it. Flushed out of the pocket. He is run out of bounds close to the 1st down. Let's see where the spot, I believe, is going to have the 1st down, Jacob. Sure enough, they're moving the sticks. So good job by Cunningham as it was a busted play. It was going to be a pass, but Keon Stallings flushed him out of the pocket, and he had the presence of mind to advance the ball all the way to the 38-yard line, the Bearcats' 39-yard line, I should say. And now there is a stoppage of play. Did you see a flag fly by any chance, Jacob?
I did not. I think this might be
okay,
officials calling.
Now then they're calling for the 1st down. So I guess they were just making sure that he had enough for the 1st down yardage. He does. Ball lined up on the left hash. 1st and 10 Bearcats. Their 2nd 1st down is Bearcat offense. Methodical, but effective. They give to Wright. Wright is stood up at the line of scrimmage. Boy, that Raider defensive line is doing an outstanding job. A couple of linebackers in there with them. Keon Stallings, the defensive lineman, and Kylan Shelton, Blake Brown in on the stop. A gain of a couple. It's 2nd down and 8.
You know what, Mr. Miller, I'll be honest with you. I heard that thud from up here, and I have headphones on. That was a hard hit.
Somebody laid the wood out there. No doubt about it. 2nd down and 8. Cunningham back to pass. Under pressure. Shakes it. Runs it. He's got the first down. Runs out of bounds inside Nettleton territory about the 48-yard line. And it's going to be another first down for the Bearcats.
And it looks like Cunningham might be quite the runner. He's escaped the pocket twice and found 2 first downs for this Brookland offense.
So far, Brookland's best play offensively has been let the quarterback run it after he's under pressure. They've gained a couple of first downs out of that, probably 20, 25 yards total. Bearcat offense back to work. Cunningham in the gun. He gives to Wright. Wright has some positive yardage, a gain of maybe 4. Test the left side of his offensive line. Kylan Shelton in on the stop for the Raiders, as is Cohen Liggins. It's going to be 2nd down and 6. Ball is on the Nettleton 44-yard line. Nettleton has a 7-0 lead on a touchdown pass from Curtis Smith to Q Thompson. And a Joseph Newhung point after. The Bearcats are going to pass. Under pressure, and he is sacked. He is sacked. First contact made by Jordan Pegram. Keon Stallings grabbed him and threw him to the ground. It's going to be a loss of about 4. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9, but there is a flag on the play. It's holding against Brookland.
Is it decline?
They may decline it and take the result of the play, which is a loss of 4 and a loss of down. Let's see what Coach Hampton elects to do. Yeah, they have declined it, so they'll take the result of the play. They have that option to decline the penalty and take the result of the play. Well, Coach Hampton is like, I'm happy with the result of that play. A loss of 4 and a loss of down. Let's take that. Good call. 3rd down and 9 for the Bearcats. Cunningham in and Wright in the backfield. Pistol formation, and the Bearcats jump off sides. It's going to be a false start against Brookland. The near receiver leaned a little bit too much and fell across the line of scrimmage, and the referees whistled that, so there's a 5-yard penalty. And now instead of 3rd and 9, it's going to be 3rd down and 14. The ball is back in Brookland territory at their 48-yard line. Spotted near the left hash, right above the beautiful oval end on this artificial turf here at Nettleton. 3rd down and 14. Raider Nation coming alive in the stands. Cunningham in the shotgun, right in the backfield with him. He's going to pass. Good pass rush. It's a fumble on the play. Fumble on the play. It looks like Brookland has recovered. That Nettleton defensive line had all kinds of pressure on the quarterback, knocked it loose from him, but the ball is recovered by a Brookland offensive lineman, Hayden McMillan, on the recovery. A loss of about 5 or 6 on that play. It's 4th down and 20 for the Bearcats, and they're sending out their punting unit.
And I would too after that play by that Raider defensive line. They've been wreaking havoc on this offensive line all night.
Well, a lot of guys on the line of scrimmage for Nettleton. They're going to try to block the punt of Jackson Sweet. They run into him, but don't see any flag. And the ball rolls out of bounds. Good punt by Sweet. Ball runs out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Somewhere in the opposing stands, Johnny Sweet is saying, whoo, I'm sure I'm glad my boy got that off. He had a lot of black jerseys. Really, they're wearing their dark gray jerseys tonight. Had a lot of dark gray jerseys in his face. So it'll be 1st and 10 Raiders from their own 25-yard line. Maddox Hampton, the outstanding sophomore quarterback, the coach's son. He's in the gun. He's got the Pope in the backfield with him. Curtis Smith, the playmaker, spread out wide right. Q Thompson and Braylon King. It's good to be the King to his left, as is Caleb Tedder. They give to the Pope. Pope running right side. He is tripped up in the backfield and falls forward. He's hit about the line of scrimmage, I guess I should say. Falls forward for a gain of a couple. It's going to be 2nd down and 8.
And that was a good shoestring tackle by, I believe, number 3, Keegan Overshine. Just Pope couldn't get out there far enough and got caught up by the strong safety.
Second down and 8 for the Raiders. The ball is on their own 27-yard line. The Mad Dog, Maddox Sampton in the gun. One receiver spread out to the right, one to the left. In motion is that receiver, Q Thompson. The Mad Dog's going to pass. It's a screen pass, and it's incomplete. Intended for Keandre Pope. And overthrew him, and it's going to be 3rd down and 8 for the Raiders.
And that looked like maybe a busted play. The defensive line had Pope guarded and was rushing Maddox very well. Just wasn't a lot Maddox could do there, but he did what the best he could.
3rd down and 8 for the Raiders. The Mad Dog in the gun. Keandre Pope to his right side. 3 receivers split left. Q Thompson, split right, I should say. Q Thompson split left. The Raiders are moving right to left on your radio dial. It's 3rd down and 8 for the Raiders. The Mad Dog, he's dropping back to pass. It's complete. Wheel route out of the backfield to Keandre Pope. He's got the 1st down. He is slung down at the 42-yard line. Move the chains. 1st down Raiders.
And what a good pass over the shoulder of Keandre Pope, and Pope hauled it down and made a great 1st down effort and got it and some.
The Raiders are right at 50% on 3rd down conversions this season. And they are 1 for 1 tonight. That was a very nice play. 1st and 10 for the Raiders at their own 42-yard line. The Mad Dog, Maddox Sampton, in the backfield with the Pope. In motion is Q Thompson. Maddox is going to throw again. He's going deep for Curtis Smith. It is incomplete. Knocked out of the way. Good defensive play there by Brookland's number 4, Connor Marshall. Incomplete pass. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
And I thought Cortez was going to hobble that one in. It bounced off, and I thought he might get it, but good defensive coverage by number 4. I think that's Connor Marshall.
Yeah, let me tell you something. If you can keep up with Cortez like that and make a play like that, you've done a good job. Good job by Connor Marshall. 2nd down and 10 for the Raiders. 2 receivers to the right, twins to the left. The Mad Dog in the gun. He's got the Pope next to him. Braylon King and Q Thompson near side. Far side, it's Curtis Smith and Caleb Tedder. In motion is the King. They give to the Pope. Keandre Pope forward for a gain of about 5. It's going to be 2nd down and 5 for the Raiders.
And the Raider offensive line has had some great blocks tonight, and there's another example. A pretty good-sized hole that Pope fit through. Raiders got a good gain of 5.
I misspoke. I said 2nd down and 5. It's 3rd down and 5. 3rd down and 5 for the Raiders. Maddox Sampton in the gun with the Pope moving to his right side. 3 receivers to the left. Mad Dog is going to throw. It's complete to Curtis Smith. Curtis is hammered. I believe that was Jude Rapert who hit him. It sure was, and Jude with a great open field tackle right at the 50-yard line, short of the 1st down by about 2 yards. 4th down and 2, and let's see if the Raiders elect to go for it right here. 3:40 on the clock. The Raiders up 7-0.
I think we're bringing that heavy package.
Yeah, bringing the heavy package out. Curtis Smith is now in the backfield, heavy left. So Curtis, Raiders are going for it on 4th down and 2. Curtis running left side, cuts out. He's got the 1st down, and he's brought down at about the 46-yard line. Gutsy call by the Raider coaching staff, and it pays dividends as Curtis Smith gets the 1st down.
Curtis Smith with a great play there. Not a big hole, bounced it outside and found a good little 1st down yard gain. Good run by Curtis.
Really was. They said, the coach said in the paper, in the article in the paper, watch the guy in the pink gloves. That's Curtis Smith. He is a playmaker. 1st down and 10 for the Raiders. The ball at the Bearcat 46-yard line. The Mad Dog, little shovel pass to Q Thompson, trying to get around the right side. He does so. He's got the 1st down. He's at the 30. He is still on his feet, finally thrown out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. He's at the 16. He just almost busted that thing, but a big gain by Q Thompson, and the Raiders are going to have it 1st and 10 in the red zone at the 16-yard line of the Bearcats.
And Q Thompson's making plays tonight like he did. And
what in the world? Look at that lineup. They're all in one line. Now then they get, I never have seen anything like that. That's definitely an I formation right there. Now then they're in a normal look. And the Mad Dog fumbles it. Now he breaks, runs to his right. Be careful, Mad Dog. Flag on the play. Mad Dog is tackled after a gain of 3, but let's see what that flag is all about. unfortunately, is in the area of offensive holding. Let's see if that's what it is. It's illegal block to the back against the Raiders. So they'll back it up. It'll be a replay of first down, I believe, and instead of 1st and 10, it should be 1st and 20. Little trickeration there by the Raider coaching staff as they had everybody lined up in one vertical line for a brief moment. Then everybody ran to the line of scrimmage, and a lot of things going on right there.
And it botched play, but we saw a great Maddox Cameron Scarlett impersonation there. Good little run for him.
Maddox Sampton is back to work in the shotgun. The Pope by his left side. 2 receivers to the right, the 2 playmakers. He's dropping straight back to pass. Looking deep. He's got a man overthrown is Keandre Pope. It looked like Keandre might have turned the wrong way and lost the ball. In any event, it's an incomplete pass, and it's going to be 2nd down and 20. And maybe you can shed some more light on what we just saw right there, but it looked like maybe Keandre just kind of got turned around a little bit, perhaps.
I think that's what happened. It looks like he turned the wrong way, and the ball came over the left shoulder instead of the right one where Keandre thought it would be.
In any event, it's an incomplete pass, and it's 2nd down and 20 for the Raiders. The ball is on the Bearcat 26. 2:23 remaining in the first quarter. Nettleton with a 7-0 lead. Cortez Smith, the quarterback now. He's going to run it himself. Running left side. He cuts back to the original line of scrimmage, and he is brought down close to a 1st down. Great run there by Cortez. A gain of about 18, 19 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and short for the Raiders. 3rd down and just a little over a yard. 3rd and 2 is what the scoreboard says. That's what we'll go with. 3rd and 2 from the 8-yard line. Cortez Smith still behind center in the gun. Heavy right side. Cortez running right side. Cuts back across the 5 into the end zone. Touchdown Cortez Smith. Touchdown Raiders.
There is a flag on the play. This might be getting called back. It's in the backfield.
Good call, partner. Yep, it is. It's a holding call against the Raiders, and boy, that's a painful one right there. Those holding calls inside the red zone are brutal. Instead of a touchdown, it's going to be 3rd down and 12 now for the Raiders. 1:44 to play in the first quarter. The Raiders up 7-0. I said it's going to be 3rd and 12. It's actually 3rd and 10. Spot foul must have happened 2 yards in front of the line of scrimmage. So Maddox Hampton, 3rd down and 10 for the Raiders. Hampton, the quarterback, in the gun. He's got Keandre Pope to his left side. Cortez Smith spread out far to the right. Braylon King and Q Thompson, a couple of outstanding receivers, spread to the left. He's going to pass. He rolls to his right, looking downfield. Under pressure, he evades it, and Mad Dog battling for the 1st down. He's close to it. He is close to it. Good coverage there by the Bearcat defensive secondary. Mad Dog flushed out of the pocket. He's going to be short of the 1st down by about a yard. So it's going to be 4th down and 1 for the Raiders. The ball on the 7-yard line, and now Coach Hampton has a decision to make. Does he want to go for a field goal, or does he want to keep his offense out there and try to get that 1 yard? I have a feeling I know the answer. Cortez Smith is behind center in the shotgun. Heavy right side. Number 5 is going to get this 1 yard. He does so. He bounces out right side, angling for the pylon. He's into the end zone, but it's a touchdown, but there is another flag on the play. So touchdown Raiders, but let's see what that flag is. It's in the backfield. That's usually where we have an offensive holding. Jordan Pegram is raising his hand like it's a touchdown. He was close to the officials. That's a good sign. He heard something he liked. Maybe it was a penalty against Brookland. Yeah, it's going to be against the Bearcats. Going to be against Brookland. So Cortez Smith gets a touchdown for the Raiders, this time on a run, a 7-yard run with 53 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Raiders are going to be up 13-0. Yeah, the penalty was against Brookland. Obviously, it's declined, and it was a face mask is what it was. So the Raiders take the touchdown. The penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. Raiders with a swinging gate formation. Caleb Tedder to hold. And Joseph Newhung to kick. 13-0. Newhung trying to make it 14-0 here in the first quarter. The snap is good. The kick is up. Joseph Newhung perfect on the night with 53 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Raiders now lead 14-0. I tell you what, let's keep it right here. And instead of going to a commercial break, our Nettleton Raider baseball team's having a big event coming up, and they asked me to let the good people know about it. It's the Kickin' Classic. What is the Kickin' Classic? Well, it's a kickball tournament. That's what it is. A kickball tournament. It's a fundraiser for the Nettleton High School baseball team. And, man, Mary Melton is the lady that's kind of headed this up. She's done a phenomenal job getting the word out. There's a lot of sponsors are on board. If you're a sponsor, you'd like to be a corporate sponsor of the Kickin' Classic, then you just get on their Facebook page and you can find out how. If you want to sign up and get a team in it, you definitely can. It's set for November the 19th. You got to have your team in by November the 10th. And I understand, Jacob, you're going to have a team in the Kickin' Classic.
And we're going to win it all, Mr. Miller.
And I love that optimism. I love that optimism, brother. What's the name of your team?
The Dirty White Boys.
The Dirty White Boys.
We have a song and everything.
I love it, man. A little foreigner. All right, the Raiders on to kick off. Antonio Alvarez, he handles the long kicking duties for the Raiders. Joseph Wright back deep for the Bearcats. The young man is a sensational player, and I'm sure that Coach Sampson has told Antonio, try to keep it away from Wright. Unfortunately, he kicks it right to him, and he fields it at the 5-yard line. Actually, that's not right. That is number 6 on the carry. He bounces outside. He's got some running room. Finally shoved out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. That is Sinquan Spratt with a nice return there by the Bearcats. They got pretty good field position here.
I mean, that's a good return, but I hate to be that guy at school. He got brought down by the kicker. Antonio Alvarez got him out of bounds.
Yeah, that's one of those things that your teammates will give you a tough time about. Antonio Alvarez, a great athlete. I wouldn't be ashamed of being tackled by the great Antonio Alvarez. 1st and 10 for the Bearcats. Cunningham gives to Wright, running left side, and he rolls over a would-be tackler and is down at the 50-yard line after a gain of about 8. And that's the kind of run you can get from Joseph Wright. He will just run you over, and that's exactly what he did right there. It'll be 2nd down and 2 for the Bearcats, the ball on the 50-yard line. They'll get one more playoff here in the first quarter as the clock is at 20 seconds. Cunningham, the quarterback. In the backfield with him is Joseph Wright. He gives to Wright. Wright running left side. He spins his way to a 1st down. He was stopped short and then spun forward, and Caleb Manning over there on the crew on the chain gang crew. He moves it to a 1st down. The clock strikes 0. That's the end of the first quarter. Your score, Nettleton 14, Brookland 0. Back in 60 with more Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network.
This is Keith Baird with Baird Auto Group. There's nothing that brings our communities together like high school sports. No matter what the scoreboard says, it's a winning feeling just to be a part of it. At Baird, we want you to have the feeling anytime you come into one of our dealerships. Good credit, bad credit, no no problem. Don't buy anywhere else until you shop at Baird location near you. Don't get a bad deal, get a Baird deal. Because why pay more?
Saving service, great selection too.
For me, rice farming isn't a profession. It's been my life for more than 30 years. And as owner of Nettleton Seed, I've been the region's rice tech leader for more than a decade. Every planting season, I'm in the fields right along with you, and we're figuring out how to make sure bushels mean dollars together. From selecting your hybrid rice to free on-farm delivery and one-on-one consultation, I'd like to help your rice fields see more profit this season. I'm Terry Gray at Nettleton Seed. Call me today at 870-249-3447. Let's talk about your best rice options.
Second quarter just about to get underway here at Nettleton. The Bearcats and the Raiders. It's 14-0 Nettleton. 1st and 10 for Brookland. The ball at the Raider 47-yard line. Cunningham and Wright in the backfield. And that's the play is whistled dead. I believe it might have been a false start against Brookland. That's exactly what it was. Illegal procedure, false start against Brookland. It'll back it up 5 yards. It'll be first down and 15. Good student section for the Raiders tonight. They have a patriotic theme, which warms my America-loving heart. Students dressed up in red, white, and blue. Raider band in full force. It's a good night for high school football. First down and 15 for the Bearcats. Cunningham and Wright in the backfield. One receiver spread to the right, one to the left. Two backs in motion. They give to Wright. He is stood up at the line of scrimmage by the murder man, Cam Phillips. Blake Brown leading the tackle, and it is maybe a short loss on the play. Certainly not much of a gain, maybe a gain of a half a yard. It's going to be second down and 15 for the Bearcats.
And Murder Man and Blake shot right through that gap and said, "You're not going nowhere," and just sat him down.
Love to see the play of number 9, Blake Brown, and number 63, Cam Phillips. Second down and 15 for the Bearcats. Cunningham got some good wheels on him for sure. He's in the gun. He gives to Wright. Wright right up the middle, and he has stood up at the line of scrimmage. Boy, that's Nettleton Raider defensive line has really played well so far in this game. Big Jordan Pegram leading the tackle. It's going to be a gain of a couple. Third down and 12 for Brookland.
And what a stop by Jordan Pegram. I mean, that guy is insane. All-state for a reason, Mr. Miller.
Yes, we've said that time and time again, and we mean it. Jordan Pegram is something special. One of the best defensive linemen to ever come through this great school. Third down and 12. Cunningham is dropping back to pass. Looking deep, throwing deep, right side, deep. The right sideline is incomplete. Incomplete, intended over there for number 4, Connor Marshall. Good coverage by the Junebug. Junebug is Derek Island Jr. It's going to be fourth down and 12 for Brookland. They're bringing out the punting unit.
And that was great coverage on that far corner. It looks like he overthrew his man. That's because his man was locked up in coverage by Derek Island Jr.
It's a good thing for Cunningham. He did overthrow his man because the Junebug would have made a house call on that one, as fast as the Junebug is. Fourth down and 12. Jackson Sweet, the punter. Next level punter, I guarantee you. He booms one. Holy cow. High end-over-end kick is fielded at the 12-yard line by the playmaker, Cortez Smith. Cortez juking, jiving, looking for blocking across the 35-yard line, and he is finally tackled out of bounds. I believe that is number 3 for Brookland, is Keegan Overshine made the tackle on the playmaker. But Nettleton's going to have good field position. First down and 10 for Nettleton. They will start at their own 34-yard line.
And Cortez with a great return. He had the quick feet, made a couple people miss, and then got a great return on that one.
Yeah, that was a great punt by Sweet. And Cortez turned a negative into a positive for the Raiders. The Mad Dog back to work as the quarterback. Gives to the Pope. Keandre Pope running right up the middle. He is tripped up near the line of scrimmage by Brookland's number 25, Joseph Wright. And Joseph, the running back, also plays middle linebacker. Gain of 5. I say gain of 4. Second down and 6.
And that was a good run by Pope. He found a little hole and turned it into a gain of 4.
The Mad Dog in the gun. 2 receivers to his right, 1 spread left. Little jump there on the defensive line for the Bearcats, but he is back. And no flag. Hard count by the Mad Dog. Nearly got somebody to jump offside. Second down and 6. The Mad Dog from the gun. He gives to the Pope. The Pope bounces out left side, looking for the edge, and finds just a little bit of the edge. Gets to the 40-yard line. He's going to gain a couple of 3 yards, and it's going to be second down and 5. Good pursuit there by the Bearcat defense, keeping the Pope from turning upfield and taking it to the house. Third down and 4 for the Raiders on their own 40-yard line.
And the Pope is not a guy you want to let break loose. He has 4.5 speed, and he's incredible off the edge.
No doubt about that. The Pope, very good high school running back. Third down and 4 for the Raiders. The Mad Dog from the gun. He's going to pass. He's rolling out to his right. It is complete to Cortez. Cortez makes a move. He's across the 50, and he's brought down inside Brookland territory. It's going to be 1st and 10 Raiders from the 47.
And Cortez Smith does what Cortez Smith does, and he makes a player miss, cuts to the opposite side of the field, and gets a great gain. Great first down yards from Cortez Smith, the playmaker.
Yeah, he sure had a good run after the catch there. It's 1st and 10 for the Raiders. The Raiders back to work. Cortez Smith spread out wide right. Q Thompson wide left. Mad Dog intended for Thompson, and it's incomplete. Looks like it might have hit him off the shoulder pads and through the hands. Incomplete pass. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 for the Raiders. There's 8:58 on the clock in the second quarter. Raiders up 14-0. 2nd down and 10. I'll do my best to tell the score and the time. I realize a lot of people may be listening on the radio. If you're watching on the live stream at youtube.com/Nettleton TV, and you got all that information, but I know how maddening it can be to not know the score and the announcer not telling you. Cortez Smith at quarterback, a little bit of a busted play. He reverses direction, and he gets the 1st down. He bulls his way to a gain of 11. Good running by Cortez Smith. Move the chains, 1st down Raiders.
And Cortez Smith is a playmaker for a reason. He saw nothing. He made something out of nothing there, Mr. Miller, and just took it 11 yards. What a run by Cortez Smith.
He took chicken droppings and made chicken salad. That's what Cortez Smith did right there. 1st down and 10 for the Raiders. Ball on the 36-yard line of the Bearcats. The Mad Dog is dropping straight back to pass. Pumps, throws, incomplete, intended for Keandre Pope. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
And it looks like Maddox got hit about the time that ball was released. I bet there would have been a better throw if he would have had a little bit more green light.
Yeah, it's hard to throw with a big white jersey right in your grill.
Sure is.
2nd down and 10 for the Raiders. They have a 14-0 lead with 8:43 remaining here in the second quarter. The incomplete pass stopped the clock at 8:43. The Mad Dog, the quarterback, in the gun. 3 receivers spread out wide to his left. In motion is Q Thompson. Pass in the flats to Cortez Smith. Cortez down the sideline, close to a 1st down. Actually, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 32-yard line. So it's going to be a gain of about 4 for the Raiders. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 6.
That was a good pass play there, good little screen pass. I thought Cortez might have had the 1st down, just the ref call probably right.
He's closer to it than we are for sure. 3rd down and 6 for the Raiders. Maddox Hampton, the quarterback. And the nose guard looked like he might have jumped off sides, but ref didn't call it. He kind of sneaks back a little bit. Like, I didn't do that. 3rd down and 6, the Mad Dog. He's passing. It's complete to Q Thompson. Good for a 1st down. They needed 6 yards. They got about 9. Q Thompson with a good out route over there on the sideline, and the Mad Dog delivered the ball right where he needed to. 1st down, Raiders on the Bearcat 24.
And Q Thompson with a great reception. Had to get up a little bit for that one. He hauls it down, stays in bounds, and what a play by Mad Dog and Q Thompson there on that sideline.
No doubt about it. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. They lead 14-0 here in the second quarter, trying to extend their 2-touchdown lead. Pass I'll be dang, it was a lateral and a touchdown Raiders. I'm going to have to unpack that play. It was a lateral pass to Cortez Smith. Cortez then shovel passed it to Q Thompson. So once again, we'll call it a touchdown Raiders, and it's Q Thompson who did the deed, but Cortez Smith passed it to him, a 24-yard trick play, and the Raiders are up 20-0. What a play.
And the Raiders are playing backyard football right now, and I thought that might have been botched. Cortez Smith yet again making something out of nothing and made it complete to Q Thompson. What a play by the 2 playmakers we have.
Maddox Hampton passed it to Cortez, but he passed it backwards. Cortez kind of bobbled it. It was a live ball, obviously. He shoveled it to Q Thompson. Q Thompson did the rest. He took it to the house. Touchdown Raiders on a nifty little trick play. Coach Clint Wilson really opening up the offensive playbook this week. Joseph Newhung is perfect 3 for 3 on PATs, and the Raiders have a 21-0 lead with 8:23 remaining in the second quarter. Back in 30 seconds with more Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network.
You're stuck in the old days? It's time to catch up with Empower, delivered by Craighead Electric. Thanks to Empower, you don't have to wait for high-speed internet. Our new cutting-edge technology makes our services more reliable and faster than the competition. Call 870-336-0999 to check internet availability in your area. That's 870-336-0999. Empower, high-speed internet for your neck of the woods.
Raider football on NTV, and it is a happy night at Nettleton, at least for the Raider faithful, as Nettleton has a 21-0 lead over Brookland with 8:23 remaining in the second quarter. Nettleton has scored on a couple of passes from Curtis Smith to Q Thompson, and the other touchdown was a Curtis Smith 7-yard run. 21-0 after 3 Joseph Newhung PAT kicks. Antonio Alvarez, a.k.a. Dick Butkus, out to kick off. He made the tackle on the last kickoff. He boots it deep. It is fielded at the 20. I believe that's Sinquan once again. And he battles his way forward to the 34-yard line of Brookland, and that's where the Bearcats will take over 1st and 10.
And here comes the big dogs, the Raider defense. I'm ready to watch them back on the field. I love our Raider defense, Mr. Miller.
Sinquan Spratt, the returner. Yes, sir. They are fun to watch, and they have been dominant up front here in this game. They're going with 4-man front. Keon Stallings, Caden Newsom, Jordan Pegram, and the murder man Cam Phillips. And boy, they have just dominated the line of scrimmage. Direct snap to Joseph Wright, and he's right up the middle, and he just almost busted that one. A shoestring tackle by Miles Williams saved a touchdown. 1st down Bearcats, the ball on the 48-yard line. Direct snap to their hoss, Joseph Wright, 1st and 10.
That was a good design play by the Brookland head coaches. I think they might be trying it again.
Yep. Joseph Wright is Wildcat formation. Direct snap to him. It's 1st and 10 for the Bearcats. Got a running back in the backfield with him. That's number 28, Malachi Stinnett. And it's going to be a run by Wright, running right side. He's got positive yardage, and Brookland has found something that's working here. It's going to be a gain of about 5, 2nd down and 5, and these little direct snaps to Joseph Wright, very effective.
And you know what they say, feed the studs, and that's what they're doing right now.
Yep, that is exactly right. If I was the Brookland offensive coordinator, I would do everything I could to get the ball in Joseph Wright's hands. That young man is a good football player. 2nd down and 5. See if the Raider defensive line can regroup a little bit here. Wright lined up at quarterback. They're just going to direct snap it to him and let him run. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's got the 1st down across the 40-yard line, and it's going to be a 1st down. 6:55 to play, 6:56. The clock stops while they move the chains. Nettleton with a 21-0 lead over Brookland, but Brookland driving, and Brookland's going to get the ball at the start of the 3rd quarter.
And Wright is showing to be quite the runner even after direct snap. He's making good plays.
Yeah, he really is. Just snap it to your stud, let him run the rock, and that's what Brookland is doing. Nettleton elects to take a timeout. See if we can't figure this thing out. Stop these Bearcats. 30-second break coming your way, and when we come back, we'll have more Raider football on the NTV and Ticket Sports Network. Nettleton up 21-0.
Have you had to pay for costly repairs to your AC unit all summer long? More Air Conditioning will give you a trade-in value or buy back a recent repair up to $1,000. Plus, we have financing available and lifetime replacement warranties on new systems. But hurry before the new government regulations take effect. Call More Air Conditioning today, a Google-guaranteed company at 870-336-2023, or visit us at moreac.com.
You deserve more, don't settle for less.
Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network. We appreciate our great friends at Moore Air Conditioning. They're going to bring you the post-game show after this one's over with. Right now it's 21-0 Nettleton, 6:41 to play here in the third quarter. Their outstanding running back, Joseph Wright, is lined up as quarterback. Stinnett, the running back, in the backfield with him. So far, he's not handed it to Stinnett. He's been running himself. He does so again, has another gain of 5-6 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 5 for the Bearcats.
And Wright is just making great runs. I mean, it's hard to stop a guy like Wright, and he's proving that right now.
6:20 on the clock in the second quarter and ticking. The Raiders lead 21-0, but Brookland has really found something offensively that's working here on this drive. And that's a direct snap to Joseph Wright. Let him run it. Stinnett to his left. One receiver to the left, one receiver to the right. Not that it matters. I don't think he's going to be passing. Instead, he runs right up the middle again. He is stood up at the 30-yard line. He's going to be close to a first down. It's going to be 2nd down and 1 for Brookland. Correction, 3rd down and 1 for Brookland. 3rd down and 1. Ball at the Raider 30-yard line. Defensive coordinator Alan Johnson calling the signs. Raider defense ready. 3rd down and 1. Once again, Wright, Wildcat. Quarterback, hard count. Raiders stay put. Good discipline by the Raider defensive line. Watching that ball. Wright runs right up the middle. He's hit in the backfield. Bounces off, falls forward, has the first down. He needed 1. He got about 3, so they're going to move the chains. 1st and 10 for the Bearcats. 5:09 remaining in the second quarter. Nettleton with a 21-0 lead. So Brookland feeding the stud, as they say. Joseph Wright. He is a dynamic high school football player, and they are putting the ball in his hands, and he's toting the rock for him. 1st and 10. Let's see if we can't get a stop right here. Wright once again finds a hole, shoots through it. He's got the first down. He's still on his feet. He's going to score a touchdown. He sure enough does. So Joseph Wright, a 28-yard touchdown run, and Brookland is on the board, 21-6.
And that's a good run by Wright. He found the hole and kept running, and he's a big guy to bring down, and he proved that there, and just what a run by Joseph Wright.
28-yard touchdown run. And the Bearcats are on the board with 4:42 remaining in the second quarter. Yeah, that drive was all Joseph Wright. Direct snap to Joseph, and boy, he took care of business. They're going to go for 2, it looks like. Joseph Wright in the backfield, direct snap to him. A little shovel pass to an offensive lineman, and he is stopped short of the goal line. 2-point conversion is no good. I'll get you that lineman's number, a big guy who got brought down short of the goal line. That's number 48. I'll get you his name. Well, I don't see a number 48 on my roster. Yep, it is 48, but I don't see a 48 on my roster. Something tells me they may have given a lineman a different jersey. In any event, we'll take a 30-second break. 21-6 Raiders, 4:42 remaining in the second quarter. Back quickly with more Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network.
We won't be beat. Plaza Tire Service is the low price leader on tires. And if you do manage to find a lower price on a comparable tire, we'll match it with our low price pledge. Stretch your dollars with outstanding deals from Plaza Tire Service on tires for your car, van, truck, crossover, SUV, and more. Plaza Tire Service has a huge selection of tires in stock and ready to install today. Plus, get 6 months deferred interest on purchases of $149 or more with your Plaza Tire Service card. For the best deal on tires, see Plaza Tire Service.
Raider football on NTV. It's 21-6 Raiders here in the second quarter. 4:42 remaining. Brookland to kick off. That's Jackson Sweet. Boots it high and fielded by Cortez Smith at the 30. Cortez running out to the 41-yard line before he's brought down. It's going to be 1st and 10 Raiders, and they have 4:36 on the clock and 2 timeouts. So Nettleton, you can bet Coach Hampton is wanting to stick the ball in the end zone before halftime, as Brookland's going to get the ball in the third quarter. And they have proven that last drive that they can control the ball and they can move the ball on the Raiders. So Nettleton needing to score here to make me feel a little more comfortable about this game. 21-6 to score. Cortez Smith, the quarterback, he gives to the Pope, fakes to the Pope. Now he's running it himself. Left side, he is brought down after a gain of 5. A good open field tackle there by Connor Marshall. It's going to be second down and 5 for the Raiders.
And Cortez is a hard guy to bring down. Props to Connor Marshall, but a great run and great blocking by that left side of that offensive line. He found the hole and he hit it hard. Great run by the playmaker, Cortez Smith.
Maddox Hampton now back on the field. Second down and 5 for the Raiders. 4:03 and ticking. Cortez Smith and Q Thompson spread wide left along with Caleb Tedder. The Pope in the backfield with the Mad Dog. Maddox Hampton, he's going to pass. It is incomplete, intended for Caleb Tedder down the left sideline, just maybe a hair overthrown. It did hit him in the hands, but it was outstretched fingertips. Incomplete pass. It's going to be third down and 5 for the Raiders. The incomplete pass stops the clock at 3:43 here in the second quarter.
And Maddox Hampton's pass just missed Caleb Tedder. Good throw.
Third down and 5. Caleb Tedder in motion. Braylon King, Cortez Smith spread out wide right. Q Thompson spread out wide left. The Mad Dog, Maddox Hampton, sensational sophomore quarterback with the Pope to his left hip. The Mad Dog is going to throw. Throws downfield. It is complete to Q Thompson. He's got the first down. He's still on his feet across the 40-yard line. He's brought down by a host of Bearcats. Big time run after the catch by Q Thompson. First down Raiders.
And Q Thompson made a great play there. He came across field, and what a run. Made a guy miss, and Q Thompson doing what Q Thompson does.
That's good things for the Raiders for sure. First and 10 for Nettleton. They're in the hurry up. Ball on the 40. They direct snap to Cortez Smith. Cortez Smith behind some blockers. Stiff arms. He's shoved out of bounds. A nice defensive play there by Walker Spears. And short gain for the Raiders. Actually, he got back to the line of scrimmage before he was shoved out of bounds. It's going to be second down and 10 for the Raiders.
That was a good run by Cortez Smith. Just that outside block just wasn't there, but flag on the play.
There is a flag on the play, and let's see what this is about. He's talking to the Brookland sideline. That usually means it's against the Raiders, and they're going to find out if they want to accept or decline. Holding against the Raiders, and they decline the penalty. So 3:15 on the clock. Interesting call. They're declining that. And I believe Nettleton is going to call a timeout. We will take the timeout with them with 3:15. Actually, Brookland takes the timeout. 3:15 remaining in the second quarter. Nettleton up 21-6. Tell you what, we'll be back in 30 seconds. 30-second break with more Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network.
When you bank at First Security, you're choosing better for yourself and fellow Arkansans. Better service from friendly professionals who really invest in your goals. Better solutions with convenient tools and smart resources. And better support for the things that matter to you, as well as the communities that matter to us all. Because finding your better at First Security makes Arkansas better too. First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network. Nettleton has a 21-6 lead over Brookland with 3:15 remaining in the second quarter. Nettleton has it second down and 11 with the ball on the Brookland 40-yard line. The Mad Dog, Maddox Hampton, behind center in the shotgun. He's got Q Thompson and Cortez Smith spread out wide left. Braylon King spread out wide right. Keandre Pope is in the backfield with him. Mad Dog is going to pass, dropping straight back. He's going deep. He's got a man. Cortez Smith, the ball is knocked out of his hands. Good defensive play there by Sinquan Spratt, saving a touchdown for the Bearcats as Mad Dog hit Cortez Smith in stride, close to the goal line, but the ball was knocked out of his hands by Spratt.
And that's a good stop by Brookland, because if that would have been caught, that would have been a touchdown for the playmaker. And I would have loved to watch a touchdown from Cortez Smith.
3rd down and 11 for the Raiders. Maddox Hampton in the gun. Clock is stopped at 3:07. Got Keandre Pope in the backfield with him. He's going to pass once again. Pass is complete to Keandre Pope. He's at the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Keandre Pope. Touchdown, Raiders.
And just a lot of green for Keandre Pope there, over the shoulder, nobody on him. Touchdown, Maddox Hampton. Touchdown, Keandre Pope. What a pass, what a play, and the Raider special teams come on.
27-6 to score, and man, that was a perfect pass by the Mad Dog. He just hit Pope perfectly in stride, and the Pope took it to the house. Touchdown, Raiders on Mad Dog's touchdown pass to the Pope. Joseph Newhung out for the extra point. He is 3 for 3 on the night. The snap is good. The kick is up. The kick is good. And the Raiders have a 28-6 lead with 3 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Back in 30 seconds with more Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network.
You're listening to the Nettleton Raiders on Bob FM 1013 KIYS HD2 Walnut Ridge Jonesboro, KIYS HD2 K231 BB College City Jonesboro, KIYS HD4 Walnut Ridge Jonesboro, and KIYS HD4 K267AS Piggott.
Don't let your credit stop you from getting your next vehicle. Drive your deal to the max at a dealer financing you. Automax of Jonesboro. Hi folks, Craig Stone here. If you need to upgrade your ride, don't worry about your past. Come to Automax. At Automax, we have financing to fit your budget with affordable monthly payments and low down payments. Give us a call at 870-934-9200 or speed up your approval by applying online at automaxjonesboro.com. And hey, we buy cars too, even if you don't buy ours. So if you're looking to buy new, give us a chance to buy yours and ensure you get the most out of your trade-in. Automax, financing you.
Antonio Alvarez on to kickoff for the Raiders. 3 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Antonio boots it deep. It is fielded at about the 13-yard line. And a nice downfield tackle made by Caleb Tedder. That is number 7, Walker Spears, on the return, but Caleb Tedder, shades of Bill Bates, he got down there in a hurry and made a nice open field tackle. Good job, Tedder.
And Teddy can run, that's for sure. He may be a tight end, but he ain't a slow tight end as he made it down the field. Great stop by Caleb Tedder.
1st and 10 for the Bearcats at their own 26-yard line. Joseph Wright back behind center as the quarterback. Boy, that last drive was Joseph Wright. This time he's tackled in the backfield by the Carpenter, Jamie Morris. And instead of a 5-yard gain, it's going to be a loss for Joseph Wright. Big tackle by the Carpenter.
I love watching the Carpenter play because you can always be certain he will lay the wood, Mr. Miller.
Well, that's why they call him the Carpenter, because he will lay the wood. Good tackle for a loss there by Jamie on a tough running back. So 2nd down and 12. Maybe the Raiders have made an adjustment to stop that direct snap offense. Wright looks like he's going to pass. He sure is. He's going downfield, has a man wide open. Stinnett got past Brendan Alexander, and he's at the 20. He's at the 15. They're not going to get him. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders. My goodness, Joseph Wright with a big touchdown pass to Stinnett.
And Joseph Wright showing that he might have an arm as well. What a pass by Joseph Wright. Threw it out of our D-back's reach and just got out of the reach of our corners, and good pass by Joseph Wright.
77-yard touchdown pass, if my math is correct, and my word, it may not be. I believe it's a 7. It's on the 27, so 73-yard touchdown pass. Brookland is going to go for 2. Wright with the ball, running left side. He's tackled by Jordan Pegram. The 2-point conversion is no good with 2:08 remaining in the second half. Brookland has made it a 28-12 game. Back in 30 with more Raider football on the Ticket Sports Network.
Now you can enjoy the great taste of Japan in downtown Jonesboro. Bamboo Japanese Cuisine has all your favorites, from steak and chicken to seafood and sushi. Bamboo also has house poke bowls, or you can build your own bowl. Bamboo Japanese Cuisine with hibachi, sushi, and seafood is open Monday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and discounts are available for students. So stop by and dine in with us, or log on to bamboojapanesecuisine.com and like them on Facebook. Bamboo Japanese Cuisine on the corner of Main and Huntington in downtown Jonesboro.
Joseph Wright to Sinquan Spratt on a 73-yard touchdown strike. Stunned the Raider faithful over here. Made the score 28-12 with 2:08 remaining here in the second quarter. So Jackson Sweet is on to kick off, and Brookland showing that they can drive the ball methodically down the field, but they can also have a quick strike. So Bearcat fans, a lot to be optimistic about over there, as they have scored a couple of times against the Raiders. Their last two possessions, they have scored. The Raiders have scored 4 times, however, and they lead the game 28-12. The Raiders got 2:08, and they've got 2 timeouts left. Flag down. Let's see what that is all about. It's against Brookland. Still waiting to see what the call was. They're backing them up 5 yards. Instead of delay of game is what it is. Delay of game against Brookland. So instead of kicking from the 40, they're kicking from the 35. That should improve the Raiders' field position some. The Raiders' deep men are sent at their own 20-yard line. Sweet's kick, boy, it's a short one, almost a modified onside. It's a loose ball. Nettleton does fall on it. Brookland with really good coverage there, but I believe that was Teddy who recovered that, Caleb Tedder who recovered it. Boy, it's a pig pile out there on the field, and everybody gets up. Yeah, Caleb Tedder who made the nice recovery. That would have been disastrous. So it's 1st and 10 Raiders from their own 32-yard line. Their own 37-yard line, and that's where they will take over 1st and 10. Mad Dog Maddox Sampton in the backfield with Keandre Pope to his right. Curtis Smith spread out wide to the right. 3 receivers to the left. That's Teddy, that's the King, and it's Q Thompson. Mad Dog is going to pass. It is complete to Curtis Smith. Curtis is brought down just shy of the 50-yard line at the 48. Close to a first down. Let's see if they give him first down yardage. They do. They're moving the chains. First down Raiders. Clock will stop while they move the chains. And Raiders back to work. They give to Keandre Pope. Keandre Pope is brought down by Jude Rapert after a gain of 3. He falls forward for a couple of yards. He was hit hard by Rapert, knocked forward, and good job of following forward by Keandre. It's going to be 2nd down and 5. 1:34 on the clock. The Mad Dog back to pass. Caught by Curtis Smith. Curtis battles his way to the 40, has the first down. They'll stop the clock at 1:24 in order to move the chains. Raiders have it 1st and 10 on the Bearcat 40. Boy, they are in the hurry up. 1:21 and now ticking. Maddox Sampton in the gun. Keandre Pope in the backfield with him. Braylon King spread out wide left. He's looking toward King, left sideline. Instead, he throws it to Q Thompson, but it's incomplete.
There is a flag on the play.
There is a flag on the play. The incomplete pass stops the clock at 1:08, but it is a holding call against the Raiders. Holding call against Nettleton. Instead of 2nd and 10, I believe it's going to be 1st down and 20. They will not decline the penalty this time. And it's going to be 1st down and 20 for Nettleton. The ball is right on the 50-yard line. 1:08 on the clock. Nettleton does have 2 timeouts. They are in their 2-minute offense. Maddox Sampton in the backfield with the Pope at his right side. The Mad Dog is back to pass. Rolling to his right, has plenty of time. The pass is complete to Caleb Tedder. He's pushed out of bounds at about the 31-yard line, close to a first down. Gain of about 18 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 2 for the Raiders. Good reception there by Caleb Tedder, and he got out of bounds, which stopped the clock at 1 minute.
I love to see Caleb Tedder go to work. He's a great receiver, and he proved it there. He got out of bounds and stopped the clock for this Raider offense.
Coach Clint Wilson giving the signs to the Mad Dog, his sophomore quarterback. 2nd down and 2. About 15 seconds on the play clock. 1 minute on the game clock here in the second quarter. Nettleton leads 28-12. The Mad Dog dropping straight back, looking to pass downfield. Throws to the end zone. It is complete. Curtis Smith with a leaping catch. Touchdown Raiders. Touchdown Curtis Smith.
And what a catch by Curtis Smith. That ball thrown right to his hands by Maddox Hampton, hauled down in coverage. And that's great coverage by Sinquan Spratt, and he just hauled it down on top of him. Touchdown Maddox, touchdown Curtis.
That's just an athletic play there by Curtis. It was a jump ball in the end zone, perfectly thrown by the Mad Dog. Curtis Smith jumped up, hauled it in. Good leap and good hands by the playmaker. The Raiders up 34-12. Joseph Newhung on for the PAT. It's up and it is good. Joseph Newhung has been a busy man, but he has been perfect. He is perfect on the PATs. He's got 5 of them so far, 5 PATs for Joseph Newhung. 53 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Nettleton up 35-12. Back in 30 with more Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network.
Hello, I'm estate planning and elder law attorney Chad Oldham. More and more often today, I hear clients tell me that the only thing golden about the golden years is that it takes all the gold to grow old. Don't be a victim of rising healthcare and nursing home costs. Be prepared. Have a plan. Contact us today to find out how we help our clients protect and preserve assets for family and future generations. The Oldham Law Firm, 603 Southwest Drive in Jonesboro, or visit us on the web at oldhamlawfirm.com.
Wonderful atmosphere at Nettleton tonight. Raider Field as the Raiders have a 35-12 lead over Brookland with 53 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Antonio Almarez booms it to the 15-yard line. That's where Spratt takes it, and he is brought down by Nathaniel Gonzalez at the 35-yard line of the Bearcats. Brookland has 46 seconds on the clock. 46 seconds on the clock. And they will be taking over 1st and 10 at their own 30. Excuse me, their own 35. 36. Joseph Wright has been playing quarterback, and man, what a formation they've got there. They have nobody out wide, and everybody's bunched in with Joseph Wright, quarterback. Coach Alan Johnson says, you know what, let's call a timeout. Let's talk about this. Nettleton takes a timeout. We'll take it with them. Back in 30 seconds, some more Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network.
Demo's Smokehouse Barbecue on Johnson at Hilltop and on Main Street across from Jonesboro High School. Now, I'm from Memphis and I know barbecue, but there are people from Memphis that travel to Jonesboro to sample, taste, and enjoy Demo's Barbecue. No kidding, they come from Memphis, so no need to go anywhere else. Right here, the best barbecue is at Demo's. Any of the ribs, any of the plates, you can enjoy it all at Demo's Smokehouse Barbecue. My mouth is watering.
Raider football on NTV. We're in the second quarter, 45 seconds remaining. Nettleton has a 35-12 lead. Brookland with the ball on their own 36-yard line. Looks like they're back. Cunningham back behind center. Joseph Wright to his right hip. Cunningham rolling to his right. Flushed out of the pocket. Pass is complete over there to Spratt, and he is knocked out of bounds by Keon Stallings. Gain of 4. It's going to be 2nd down and 6 for the Bearcats. 38 seconds on the clock.
And right now we're seeing a good pass rush right now.
Well, they've been doing that all game long. The Bearcats have not been able to get much passing done because of the tremendous rush by the defensive line. of the Raiders. Again, he's under pressure, and he's going to be sacked by Jordan Pegram. Big number 90 in the backfield doing damage. Quarterback sack, Jordan Pegram. And Brookland calls a timeout, a loss of about 2 on that play as he was able to fall forward as Jordan slung him down to the turf. And Brookland takes a timeout. We'll take it with him. 30 seconds on the clock, the 30-second break, I should say. Raiders up 35-12. Be back in 30 with more Raider football on NTV.
Your vehicle is a personal and important investment. At Central Collision Center, we're more than collision repair. We do everything from minor paint touch-ups and windshield replacements to framework. We're committed to customer satisfaction and provide the highest quality of service. At Central Collision Center, we provide honest and expert auto care and offer a written lifetime warranty and on-site rental car arrangements. Stop by or give us a call today to schedule your free estimate. Central Collision Center. Professional, convenient, reliable. Behind Central Chevrolet on Stadium and online at centralcollisionctr.com.
And we are back at Raider Field. Brookland with the ball, 3rd down and 8. 26 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Nettleton leading 35-12. Cunningham, the quarterback, he's going to pass. Rolling to his right, throws downfield, intended for Spratt. It's incomplete off of his hands. It's going to be 4th down and 8 for Brookland. The incomplete pass stops the clock. 21 seconds. Nettleton will have time to get one play in at least offensively, you would think. Unless Jackson Sweep booms about a 20-second hang time punt. He can kick it with the best of them on the high school level, but they're going for it on 4th down and 8. I thought it might be a punt, but instead Brookland going for it. Very interesting. Cunningham dropping back to pass. He's under pressure. Jordan Pegram tackles him, fumble on the play, and Blake Brown recovers it for the Raiders. It's going to be 1st and 10 Raiders on the 31-yard line of the Bearcats. The Nasty Boys getting it done. Jordan Pegram forced the fumble on the quarterback sack. Blake Brown picks it up, and the Raiders are in business with 15 seconds remaining on the clock.
And the Nasty Boys handled a business there, and look at that. Jordan Pegram forces a fumble, hits him hard enough, and Blake Nasty comes out of nowhere, swoops it up. Nasty Boys on top.
And I'm going to call that quarterback sack and fumble recovery the Domino's Pizza delivery of the game. Brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Hey, it's a great game night, but you can make it even better by ordering online at Domino's.com or from the Domino's app. We appreciate Domino's Pizza sponsoring the broadcast tonight. 15 seconds on the clock. The Raiders back to work. The Mad Dog, Maddox Hampton, 3 receivers up top, 1 to his right. He's rolling to his left. He throws deep, throws into the end zone. Touchdown Raiders! Q Thompson in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown Nettleton. Touchdown Q Thompson.
What a catch by Q Thompson. He turned one way, turned back the other way, ball in his hands. Great delivery by Maddox Hampton. 1 play, 8 seconds. Touchdown Nettleton Raiders, touchdown Maddox Hampton, and touchdown Q Thompson. What a play.
I love it. I love it. A heck of a throw, perfectly thrown by the Mad Dog, and Q Thompson hauls it in the back corner of the end zone, and there's a whole lot of Fargo strutting going on in the NEA Baptist broadcast booth right now. Woo, mercy daddy. Joseph Newhung, his kick is good, and with 7 seconds remaining in the second quarter, the Nettleton Raiders have a 42-12 lead over Brookland. Back in 30 seconds with more Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network.
Whether you're replacing an old appliance or remodeling your whole kitchen, the appliances you need are right around the corner with GE Appliances at Tucker's Appliance Superstore in Jonesboro. Shop timeless designs and time-saving features on the appliances that are built to last in the busiest homes. Visit Tucker's Appliance today and upgrade your home your way with GE Appliances and your local experts. Shop Tucker's Appliance today and save.
Tucker's Appliance.
Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network. What a performance by this Nettleton offense. They scored 14 points in the first quarter. They've scored 28 points in the second quarter, and they lead this game 42-12. Man, what a wild and woolly second quarter this has been. 40 points have been scored, 12 by the Bearcats, 28 by the Raiders. 7 seconds remaining. Nettleton will kick it off, and Brookland to receive. Antonio Alvarez boots it high end over end kick, fielded at the 20-yard line. It's fumbled. Spratt picks it back up, however, and boy, he's got some positive yardage. They're going to have to get him, and he's still on his feet at the 49, finally brought down, and that should be the end of the first half, and it is. The end of the first half, Nettleton leading 42-12. Tell you what, we'll take a 4-minute break, and when we come back, we'll have the halftime show. We got some stats thanks to our good friend Jeff McMillan, and we will have a very special halftime guest on the Kavanaugh Auto Halftime Show, brought to you by the Kavanaugh Auto Group. To see their complete inventory from the comfort of your home, log on to KavanaughCars.com. Our halftime guest will be Nettleton English teacher Sean Watson, and we will have our visit with him and the halftime show after a 4-minute break. Raiders up 42-12 at half. Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network. Let's, what's up? How you doing, buddy? Thanks for helping me.
Oh, anytime.
This old ball jabroni of that. Man.
Let's see. Hold on, fellas. I'm afraid we might not be on air.
Oh, excuse me.
What's that? Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. We should be hearing the radio right now, so I'm freaking out a little bit. Fuzzy enable. Check 1 2 3. Check 1 2 3.
Unmercifully. Probably nobody, yep. I think Gracie. Oh, are you kidding me? He picked the wrong ginger. That's the better one.
Ladies and gentlemen, this season, the Nettleton Band is excited to present Brookland Caliente. The show will feature music from traditional retro art style. This evening's performance will include Movement 1, Wiggle, and Movement 2, Flamenco.
We'll be on in 30. I'll do a little summary, then I'll introduce you.
Sounds good.
I can't hear him. Yeah, get the band though. Get the band. We'll sit down right here. Is that all right? Or should we?
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoy this premiere of Caliente.
And we welcome you to the Kavanaugh Auto Halftime Show, brought to you by the Kavanaugh Auto Group. To see their complete inventory from the comfort of your home, log on to CavanaughCars.com. And good game here at Nettleton. It's 42-12 Raiders at half. Nettleton got on the board first in the first quarter. A Cortez Smith touchdown pass to Q Thompson, 35 yards covered on the play with 10:14 remaining in the first quarter. It made it 7-0 after the Joseph Newhung PAT. And then Cortez Smith ran the ball in from 7 yards out with 53 seconds remaining in the first quarter to make the score 14-0 after the Newhung PAT. The second quarter, whew, mercy daddy, the action was wild and woolly. Nettleton outscored Brookland 28-12 in the second quarter. Nettleton got on the board first. A kind of a trick play, screen, lateral, shovel pass from number 5, Cortez Smith, to Q Thompson. He ran the ball 24 yards in for a touchdown. That made the score 21-0 after Newhung's PAT. Brookland answered right back. A long, methodical drive. They matriculated the ball down the field, and Joseph Wright scored on a 28-yard run. He probably ran about 60 yards all told on that drive, and he really moved the chains, and the two-point conversion was no good. It was 21-6 with 4:42 remaining in the second quarter. Then Nettleton answered right back as Maddox Hampton, with a beautiful pass to Keandre Pope, a 40-yard touchdown strike, made the score 28-6 with 3 minutes remaining in the quarter. And we weren't done yet. 3 minutes remaining in the half. You might think, well, we're just going to go up 28-6. That's where you'd be wrong, my friend. The Bearcats, with a quick strike score, right to Stinnett, 73-yard pass, made it 28-12. I think that made the Raiders mad because they scored quickly with 53 seconds remaining. Nettleton's it's Nettleton's, I put down number 9, but it's the Mad Dog. I'm calling Mad Dog number 9. He's actually number 18. You have to forgive me for that. The Mad Dog hit Cortez Smith with a 32-yard touchdown pass. Beautiful catch by Cortez, a leaping catch in the end zone. And then Brookland had the ball stripped away by Jordan Pegram on fourth down. They were going for it, and Blake Brown recovered about the 32-yard line. The very next play, the Mad Dog hit Q Thompson with a touchdown pass, and that made it 42-12, and that is the score. And I'm out of breath just talking about all of it. With the stats for the half, the Mad Dog with 212 passing yards, 9 rushing yards. Cortez Smith, 80 yards receiving, 45 yards rushing, 59 yards passing. Q Thompson, 36 yards rushing, 118 yards receiving. The Keandre Pope, 36 yards rushing and 55 yards receiving. And Caleb Tedder, 18 yards receiving. We appreciate our good buddy Jeff McMillan for providing the stats for us. And that's how the first half went. We're joined here by the guest of honor on the halftime show, and that is Sean Watson. Mr. Watson, what a football game here tonight.
Oh, man, it's been incredible. Incredible action in this first half.
I know the atmosphere is out there. You're out there in the stands.
Oh, it's electric out there.
You're probably telling jokes. People are just dying laughing all around you.
Oh, you know, what else are you going to do when you're the funniest teacher at the high school?
Well, we're going to cover that in just a second, because obviously there's friction between us.
Yes.
But we're not going to let that get in the way of a good interview here. We appreciate you coming up and joining us. Now, Mr. Watson is a beloved teacher at Nettleton, teaches English, teaches creative writing, but not everybody out there knows about Sean Watson. So start out by telling us where you're from and where you went to school.
Well, I'm actually from Jonesboro originally. Came up through Jonesboro Public Schools, so I graduated from Jonesboro High. But yeah, born and raised right here in Jonesboro in the 870.
Awesome. And your dad was a Nettleton Raider,
My dad was a Nettleton Raider, class of 79. He's very proud of that fact. So yeah, my dad's a 79er. So I grew up going to Nettleton football games on the weekends, just went to Jonesboro High School.
And you know, 10 years after your dad graduated, the greatest class to ever come through.
That's what I hear.
Walked the halls.
That's what I hear.
The class of 89. Mr. Watson, what were you like in high school? I know that even though you have a great love for Nettleton, you actually graduated from Jonesboro, much like my wife. But what were you like in high school?
Oh, man, that's a really good question. Very different than I am right now, in some respects. I was very, very involved in music, not necessarily at the school. I played guitar, and that was kind of my thing. I was kind of known as the long-haired guitar kid. Was big time into all the 70s, 80s, 90s metal bands, and so that was kind of my thing in school. I would go to school, was a pretty good student. I was a pretty solid A-B student. Junior and senior year, I really got on track, really started focusing on academics, but man, music was kind of my thing. That's kind of what I was known for in high school, I guess, and then finally kind of got my head on straight my junior and senior year.
Got your head on straight and got your hair cut.
Yes, I did. I had the long hair, not a mullet, but I had the hair.
Well, that's unfortunate. I really wish it would have been a mullet. When did you decide to become a teacher? Sean Watson is our halftime guest, and he's an excellent teacher, a beloved English teacher at Nettleton High School. When did you decide to become a teacher, and why specifically did you choose to become an English teacher?
Well, man, teaching is something that I'd thought about kind of off and on there for a while. But really my 10th or 11th grade year was when I really thought, which at that point it was like, well, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And then that's when I decided to go into teaching. I had some incredible teachers through my time coming up through school. And the reason I decided to become an English teacher actually is because I had an English teacher in my 8th grade year who then turned around and moved up to the high school my 10th grade year. His name was Mr. Stokes, just an incredible human being that I firmly believe was kind of placed in my life at a couple of pivotal points, and he just a phenomenal teacher. And learning under him, I kind of decided this is what I think I want to do.
Mr. Stokes?
Yes, Mr. Russell Stokes.
Russell Stokes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Is he still teaching?
I believe he's in administration. He's still doing stuff with education, but I believe he has moved up into some sort of administrative position at Jonesboro. Yeah.
Well, hopefully he hears this tonight and realizes what an impact he had on your life. Teachers do that. If you go into teaching, you don't do it because you want to get rich.
Right.
You go into it because you want to influence lives. And I know you undoubtedly had other teachers who influenced you. Let's give them some shout-outs. Who are some other teachers?
Well, my 2nd grade teacher, Mrs. Sloan, was incredible. My 3rd grade teacher, Mrs. Throgmartin, Mrs. T, absolutely love that lady. She's kind of become like a second mother to me since I've graduated. Miss Risa Billing, actually, who is pretty well known around these parts.
The Shadrack's lady.
Yes, not for teaching, but for owning Shadrack's Coffee. She and her husband own that. It's a fantastic business. And then obviously Mr. Stokes, but also Dr. Wright Porter and Mr. Casey Harris taught at Jonesboro when I came through, and they decided they loved me so much they wanted to follow me over here to Nettleton. They're now teaching here at Nettleton. So
wanted to be one of your colleagues.
Yes, and that's been just an incredible trip learning under those guys. They're incredible teachers, phenomenal human beings, and we're blessed to have them here at Nettleton for sure.
No doubt about it. We're blessed to have Sean Watson. He's an English teacher at Nettleton. He's joining me on the halftime show. All right. I want to ask you how you got hired at Nettleton, because I remember, I guess it might have been, and you're going to have to correct me on this, probably, maybe 2017, 2016, Miss Milnes, who was one of my neighbors, teaching neighbors, she had a student teacher, is what we used to call it, student teacher, but a young man named Sean Watson, and I could tell immediately that there was something special about this young man. The kids loved him, and your first class was my daughter's class, class 2019, and everybody's like, yeah, Mr. Watson, he is cool, he is awesome. So tell me about that. Tell me how you got hired at Nettleton.
Well, like you said, it was 2016. That was spring of 2016, so January through May of that year, I came in, was Mrs. Milnes's student teacher, and man, she was just an incredible influence, an incredible role model, and really just let me kind of take over that class, and those kids kind of became my first group of kids, I consider them. But it's one of those things where I don't believe that anything happens by coincidence. I believe that I was placed in the right place at the right time. We had a teacher move off that year, and it just so happened that there was a position that was coming open, and so I threw my name in the hat, got an interview, and was hired at Nettleton. But it was, through, I believe, that rapport and those relationships that I built with the teachers here at Nettleton, the ability that I evidently had to work with the students there. But yeah, just firmly believe that I was just placed in the right place at the right time, and that Nettleton is where I'm meant to be.
You know, you mentioned influential teachers. Miss Milnes is definitely one of those. I was talking to Coach Allison, Jalen Allison.
Yes.
And I asked him, who was your favorite teacher in high school? Miss Milnes, immediately, Miss Milnes, which hurt my feelings a little bit because I was one of his teachers, you know. But he chose Miss Milnes, and for good reason. I'm glad that you were able to learn under her. Now, we mentioned earlier, this is Sean Watson. He is our guest on the halftime show. You mentioned that you went to Jonesboro. I know you love Jonesboro. You should always love your alma mater, no matter where you went. Love your alma mater. But you've obviously become a fan of Nettleton as well. What's your opinion of Nettleton schools?
Oh, man. I've said it before. I believe that Nettleton is one of the greatest school districts on God's green earth. It's a great place to work. The faculty is great. It feels like a family, honestly, and that's evident from day one. When I stepped in to do my student teaching, there is an atmosphere of it's very unique. Nettleton's a unique school. All of the kids seem to get along very well with one another. There's support, amongst the student body. There's a great deal of respect towards the teachers from the students here. The teachers all get along well. There's this camaraderie and this just very unique kind of atmosphere at this school that is unlike anything I've ever seen. I'm proud to be a part of Nettleton Public Schools.
Raider pride, brother.
Yes, sir.
I love it. We're at halftime here at Raider Field. Nettleton leads Brookland 42-12, and we're visiting with Mr. Sean Watson, the English teacher at Nettleton High School. Now, when you started teaching at Nettleton, you were a single man. Well, you're not that way anymore. Tell us about your wife and daughter.
Oh, man, my wife is absolutely incredible. She's actually here with me tonight. We're celebrating our 4th wedding anniversary this next week, actually, on October 6th. And so we're celebrating the best way we can. Come and watching some Nettleton High School football.
Love it.
So, yeah, we've been married for 4 years. We met each other in college, and we have a 2-year-old little girl together named Lily, who is just life's greatest blessing, an incredible kid. She loves Nettleton. She would be here tonight, but she's visiting her grandparents. But, oh, yeah, she's got a lot of Raider pride already.
I love it. Well, she is a beauty. I love watching her grow up on social media, and I know you're a great husband and an excellent father to her. Not only is Mr. Watson a teacher who has taught both my son and my daughter, he's also my son's youth minister. Tell us about your work at church.
Well, I'm actually the youth minister and music leader at Ridgecrest Baptist Church here in town at 610 Powell Street. I've been there for about 5 years now, and actually another Nettleton staff member, Robbie McMasters, is the pastor there. But yeah, I've been working there for a long time. I got a fantastic youth group full of just excellent young men right now. It's all boys in that youth group, but
they can't draw any girls in.
No, not this group apparently.
Well, looking at those guys, I understand why. We just getting that's some great guys, and I actually I don't know. We hadn't really just talked a whole lot about this, but I served for years in student ministry before I got into education. What do you think about serving in youth ministry makes you a better teacher? What about serving as a teacher makes you a better youth minister?
Oh, man, it's one of those things where just, it's the two jobs are very similar to one another. You are wanting to teach, obviously, something that's very important, but I believe that relationships are at the core of that. Something about my teaching philosophy from day one, has always been students over content. You're wanting to help these young men and women become better people. And so in youth ministry, you really get the opportunity to do that for, a greater purpose. But I believe really the thing that with both of those is that you get to see multiple sides of the young men and women that you're working with. I see a lot of my students at school because I've taught them, because they walk the halls of Nettleton High School, and I see them at church on Wednesday. I see both sides, but I get to see kind of the struggles that they go through a little bit more. It helps me to meet them a little bit more where they're at and kind of help minister to them in the way that I need to. And then on the flip side of that, just being a youth minister, you got to have a little bit of a goofy side, right? And I think that's important in teaching as well. You don't always have to be stern. You can be, have those laid back moments, obviously teach the content, but be willing to show a lot of grace And I think that's important just in life in general, but especially as a teacher, being willing to show grace and forgiveness where it's needed.
Yeah, that's something we all need for sure. We're talking about Mr. Sean. We're talking to Mr. Sean Watson here at Nettleton. It's 42-12 at half. Nettleton with a 30-point lead over Brookland. Now, one thing we have in common is that hat you're wearing. Dallas Cowboys is wearing the star. We're both Dallas Cowboy fans. It's one reason why I like you. Let's talk about the Cowboys. The first question I wanted to ask about the Cowboys, is there a quarterback controversy in Dallas?
I think there's a quarterback controversy amongst the fan base. I don't think Jerry Jones has any question in his mind. I think once Dak says he's ready to go, Jerry's sending him out there. But I think the fans, and they're legitimate reasons that there could be. Cooper Rush has been doing a great job. But I think Jerry knows who his guy is.
Well, he's paying him so much money. You got to figure he's going to try to get some return for that for sure. For sure.
I'm
just glad they're winning ball games.
Me too.
After week one, I was like, boy, we'll have to go win 17 this year.
Yes, sir.
But thankfully, we've picked up a couple of wins, and I'm sticking to my prediction. This is our year.
Every year.
Now, you accuse me of being a jinx for saying that on Facebook. You're not the first to do that. But this past school year, this is what we've been kind of pushing. We've been kind of, as far as this interview goes, we've been saying, this is what it's going to come down to. This past year, you were allegedly voted funniest teacher. Now, the question I got for you, who did you pay to rig that election?
The same people you paid off for that video you posted the other day on YouTube, Miller, and I'm going back to back this year, baby. Woo!
Oh, my word. Well, I got to say, my heart was hurt a little bit whenever Mr. Watson won the funniest teacher. I'm making a vow. I'm doubling down. I'm telling more jokes than ever. I'm doing some prop comedy now in my class.
Those poor kids.
Well, no doubt, but I'm doing my best to wrestle that title away from you and put it back where it belongs, or around the waist of the TMC. I think when the annual comes out next year, you're going to be a little bit disappointed whenever you see that the TMC has been named the funniest teacher.
We'll just have to wait and see.
That's exactly right. No matter what, though, Mr. Watson, no matter who wins it, I want you to know I'm thankful to be your colleague at Nettleton. Very blessed. Nettleton is very blessed to have this guy on staff, no doubt about it. Before we let you go, any shout-outs that you want to give out? We got literally dozens of people out there watching us live on the live stream. That's right. So anybody you want to give a shout-out to?
Well, I know for a fact my mother and father-in-law, Amy and Kelly, are watching, and my little baby girl with them, Lily. If you're watching this, Daddy loves you so much. My dad watches a lot of these, so Dad, if you're watching, I love you.
Class of 79.
Yes, sir, class of 79. And if for some reason Jerry Jones just happens to be watching this, please let me take over your team. I will do a better job, I promise.
I believe him. That would be a good decision. All right, we are going to take a 1-minute break, and when we come back, we'll have the second half for you. The Raiders are up 42-12 at the break. Mr. Watson, thank you so much for being my guest. We're back in 60 seconds. More Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network. Good job, buddy.
Appreciate you, man.
Good job. Yes, sir. Whoop, that's all right. No problem. How's it going? Do you need a battery? You need a battery? Hey, do you need this white cable? Yeah. Hey, get him this white cable and a battery. That silver battery and a white cable. It should be hooked up to the battery. And we welcome you back to Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network. Craig Miller, Jacob Linderman in the NEA Baptist broadcast position. Get better with Baptist. Good first half for the Raiders as they put up 42 points on this Bearcat defense, and they lead 42-12 as we're getting ready to start the third quarter. Nettleton will be kicking off to Brookland to start the third quarter, as Brookland won the coin toss and deferred their option to the second half. Nettleton made them pay for that by scoring immediately on their first drive, taking a quick 7-0 lead. They led 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. They scored 28 points in the second quarter, and they lead 42-12. That's a 30-point lead for the Raiders. Antonio Alvarez on to kick off. Good crowd here. The Morgan boys are here. Brian Morgan from the class of '89. Cole Morgan, his son. Tommy Morgan, his dad, from the class of '66. Cole was class of '18. Antonio boots it deep, fielded at the 15-yard line by Spratt. Spratt looking for some running room. He is brought down by Caleb Tedder. Also in on the stop for Nettleton is number 29, Nate Ellis. So Brookland will take over 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Coach Alan Johnson is giving some instructions to his defensive unit. They run out there, and we're ready to roll. The sound system is good here at Nettleton tonight. That music is awfully loud. The fans are having a great time. You can't beat fun at Raider Field. They give to Wright. He runs right side. He's got a gain of about 3 before he's brought down. Cohen Liggins in on the stop, as well as Jordan Pegram had a hand in it. And it'll be 2nd down and 7. I believe that may be, yeah, it's Jordan on the far side there. 2nd down and 7 for the Bearcats. Cunningham, the quarterback. Joseph Wright, the running back, to his left side. Cunningham's going to pass. Rolling to his left. He is caught from behind and tackled by the murder man, Cam Phillips, but he did gain a yard. So Cam will not be credited with a tackle for loss or a quarterback sack, but a good tackle there by Cam Phillips, and it's going to be 3rd down and 6 for the Bearcats.
And that was a good pass rush. I saw a linebacker, Blake Brown, get through the line and caused havoc, caused him to escape the pocket.
We've been wondering how the Raiders are going to respond after a tough loss last week. They have responded very well here tonight. 42-12 the score. Nettleton with the lead here in the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Cunningham, the quarterback, Barrett Cunningham. He's dropping back to pass. Pass is complete, and they got the 1st down. That's number 4, Connor Marshall, with a reception and a good run after it. He drug Brandon Alexander for a good ways, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Bearcats inside Nettleton territory at the 48-yard line.
And that's a good run after catch and just gets the 1st down and some.
So 1st and 10 for the Bearcats. Cunningham in the gun, pistol formation, Wright directly behind him. He gives to Wright. Wright running right side has a 1st down. Gain of about 10, maybe 11. Good hard run there by Joseph Wright. The Bearcats driving here on their 1st drive of the 2nd half.
And that's a good run by Joseph Wright. He's showing to be the powerhouse of this Brookland offense.
The Brookland offensive line able to block big number 90 that time. Wright springs out, gets the 1st down. 1st down and 10, ball at the 37-yard line of the Raiders. They give to Wright once again. He cuts back up the middle and is brought down at the 35-yard line. Cohen Liggins on the stop for the Raiders. It's a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Bearcats.
That's a good stop by this D-line. They're having a good hand on this offensive line and just making good plays.
2nd and 6.
Buddy Nichols says 2nd and 6. I say 2nd and 7. I'm going to change it to what Buddy says. I trust Buddy Nichols over me. 2nd down and 6 for the Bearcats. They give to Wright. Wright running right up the middle, and he is brought down at the 30-yard line. It's going to be a gain of about 4. It'll be 3rd down and 4 for the Raiders. For the Bearcats. There is a player down. That's Jamie Morris, and officials timeout for the injury. Let's hope that Jamie is all right. He's moving around quite a bit, at least as far as his legs go. The trainers are out to check on Jamie, and I tell you what, we'll take a 30-second break while they tend to him. Back in 30 with more Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network. 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 8. I don't know why we can't hear them.
It says they're playing something at least.
Yeah. And we welcome you back to Raider Field. We are in an injury timeout. 9:02 remaining in the third quarter. Nettleton has a 42-12 lead. And Nettleton's Jamie Morris is laying down on the 30-yard line. He originally was laying face down. He's moving, and he's being attended to. Now he's up. He's rolled over on his back. Jamie Morris, we call him the Carpenter. Last year he played outside linebacker. This year he's playing safety. Plays the game with reckless abandon. Lays big hits regularly. And because of that, Jacob Linderman and I have been calling him the Carpenter this year. Wears number 7, and he's walking off. It looks like he may be favoring his left shoulder just a little bit. Staff at St. Bernard Sports Medicine working on him down there, and he's in good hands for sure. 3rd down and 3 for the Bearcats. Cunningham in the gun. His outstanding running back, Joseph Wright, in the backfield with him. Definite 4-down territory here. The Bearcats have got 2 downs to get 3 yards. Let's see if we can't get another one of them turnovers. Cunningham gives to Wright. Wright is met in the backfield and dropped for a loss. The first person to meet him was Kylan Shelton. Give him credit for the tackle for the loss. Keon Stallings also in on the stop. It's a loss of a couple. It's going to be 4th down and 6 for Brookland. And again, I think they're in 4-down territory. The ball is on the Raider 33-yard line. 4th and 6 on the 33. 8:17 and ticking on the clock. Nettleton up by 30, 42-12. Stone Cold Steve Austin's music playing on the speakers, and the Texas Rattlesnake hopefully doesn't make an appearance and open up any types of canned beverages. Pass is incomplete, intended on the far sideline. There's Brendan Alexander on the defense, so it's going to be a turnover on downs. Nettleton will take over 1st and 10 on their own 30. Now, Jacob, I'm a well-known jinx, so I'm not going to mention the fact that if the Raiders score, it's going to activate the turbo clock. I'm not going to mention that because in times past when I've done that, the game went on for like 3 more hours after I said that, so I'm not going to say it.
We've seen that jinx at Mountain Home, Mr. Miller.
That's when
that
it
was
happened.
the season.
Yeah, that's when it happened. First game of the season. The Mad Dog, Maddox Sampson in the gun. Keandre Pope with him. He gives to the Pope. Pope bounces out to the right across the 30. And he falls forward. It's going to be a short loss on the play. He's tackled behind the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be 2nd down and 11 for the Raiders.
And there was just not a lot of green light on that outside. Didn't have a block and just met by a couple Bearcats.
2nd down and 11 for the Raiders. Mad Dog back to work from the gun. He's got Keandre Pope in the backfield with him. The playmaker is spread out to his right. Braylon King and Q Thompson spread out wide to his left. The Mad Dog gives to the Pope. Pope running off right side, and he is stood up after a gain of about 5. It's going to be 3rd down and 6 for the Raiders.
And that's a good run by Keandre Pope, but great blocking by that Raider front 5. They've been great blockers all night.
3rd down and 6. Let's see if the Raiders opt to go to the air right here. They've been able to pass the ball very effectively in the first half. The Mad Dog from the gun. Hard count. Bearcats stay put. Looks to the sideline. He's got the Pope in the backfield with him. Playmaker spread out to his right. He's looking toward the playmaker. complete to the playmaker. Cortez Smith has the first down just shy of the 50-yard line.
That's good connection from Mad Dog Hampton to the playmaker Cortez Smith, and what a gain, what a first down.
Now look at the Raiders. They're lined up in a vertical line, a true I formation, and now then they get where they're supposed to be. I don't know what that's doing to Brookland, but it's kind of freaking me out. Mad Dog. There's an option play, a fumble on the play, recovered by the Raiders. Let's not do that again. Every time we do that I formation thing, bad things happen. The Raiders do recover the fumble. Q Thompson recovered it, but it lost a couple of yards on the play. And it's going to be 2nd down and 12 for the Raiders.
That was an interesting formation. I mean, I had no idea what was going to come out of that.
I don't think we're fooling anybody on that. 2nd down and 12. 5:43 remaining in the third quarter. Nettleton up 42-12. Cortez Smith now in at quarterback with the Pope in the backfield with him. That's a couple of pretty good running options. Cortez going to run it himself. He is across the 50-yard line and out of bounds after a gain of about 4. Got a block in the backfield there by Kobe Miller. It's going to be 3rd down and 7 for the Raiders.
That's a good physical run. We saw a nice stiff arm by Cortez. Cortez is a great physical runner.
5:25 to play here in the third quarter. Clock ticking. Mad Dog Hampton in the backfield with Keandre Pope is right side. 2 receivers to the left. That's Braylon King and Q Thompson. 1 receiver spread to his right. Actually 2 receivers to his right. Caleb Tedder and the playmaker Cortez Smith. He's going to pass. Looking downfield, good protection. He's going deep. He's got Cortez, and Cortez unable to haul it in on his back shoulder. A well-thrown ball, but Cortez in and out of his hands. Would have been a tremendous catch if he would have been able to make that. We've seen him make plays like that this year. You can bet Cortez is kicking himself right now for not hauling that in. But it's going to bring up a 4th down and 7 situation for the Raiders. The ball on the Bearcat 49-yard line. It looks like the Raiders are going to punt for the first time in this game.
And a traditional formation at that.
Traditional formation is right. Nettleton had a punt blocked last week. They normally go from their offensive formation, and the Mad Dog is not very far, not very deep. But they're electing to go with the old traditional, about 11, 12 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Tell you what, we'll take a 30-second break. We'll come back with more Raider football right after this, after this 30-second break. Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network. Oh, mercy. We welcome you back to Raider football on NTV. Raiders are going to punt for the first time in this game. 4th down and 7. They elect to punt. The Mad Dog boots it, and it is a spiraling punt that goes out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Let's see what kind of spot that we get. And they're going to give it to us at about the 23-yard line. That's where the Bearcats will take over 1st and 10. 5:13 to play in the third quarter. Nettleton up by 30, 42-12. It'll be Bearcat ball at their own 25-yard line. So I think me just mentioning the fact that we could activate the turbo clock has jinxed us.
You jinx a lot of things.
I do. I don't mean to, but I sure was hoping we'd score on that drive, and I'd be in bed early tonight. As it is, Brookland has the ball 1st and 10 on their 25. They give the ball to Joseph Wright. Wright has positive yardage, and he's still on his feet across the 50, or close to the 50-yard line. He's finally shoved out of bounds at the 47-yard line of Brookland. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Bearcats. Another nice gain by Joseph Wright. He's just a good running back.
He sure is, and he's proven that all night, and what a run by Joseph Wright.
You remember him? Did he used to go to school at Nettleton?
I'm not sure.
If so, I wish we could have hung on to that kid. He's a dynamic player. 1st and 10 for the Bearcats. Cunningham in the backfield with Wright. Cunningham gives the ball to Wright. He run right up the middle, and boy, he is hit hard by Blake Brown. Blake Brown met him at the line of scrimmage and said, "How do you do, Mrs. Wiley?" Big stop by number 9. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. Joseph Wright's going to remember that lick for a while.
I mean, I would. I heard the pop with the headphones on. He said, "Let me tell you something, Lance Russell," and took him down.
I love it. You've learned from being around me some important things. Memphis wrestling, Fargo strutting. Let me tell you something, Lance Russell. I love it. You're doing a good job. 2nd down and 10 for the Bearcats. Ball on the 47-yard line, 4:25 and ticking. Nettleton up by 30 here in the 3rd quarter. They're going to pass out in the flats, complete to Wright. Wright is stuck before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Let's see who all was in on that stop. It's Kylan Shelton. Not only Kylan Shelton, but also number 53, Danny Gary, in on the stop for the Raiders. So it's going to be 3rd down and 10 for the Bearcats. Clock is at 3:52 and ticking. 3rd down and 10 for Brookland. The ball on their own 47-yard line. Cunningham, the quarterback, in the shotgun. He has shown that he's definitely capable of throwing the ball. They're going to throw. It's a short pass out to Spratt. Boy, he's immediately hit over there. The June bug in on the stop. Actually, Brendan Alexander on the stop, as well as Blake Brown. Brendan Alexander made initial contact. It's going to be 4th down and long for Brookland. 4th down and 4th and 12, and Brookland is electing to go for it. Very interesting decision right here. 4th and 12, ball on their own 45, and they're going for it. Cunningham, a hard count. Nettleton stays put. Now he's back in the gun. He's got Wright on his left hip. Spratt spread out wide left. He's going to pass. Now then he keeps it. He breaks a tackle and is brought down short of the 1st down. Cohen Liggins with a stop, and there's a flag on the play after the play. Short of the 1st down by about 2 yards. Should be a turnover on downs, but let's see what that flag is. Well, I hope it's not on us. And still waiting the call from the official. It's going to be a personal foul, face mask against the Raiders. It'll be a 15-yarder, and it will move the chains within the 30-yard line of the Raiders. 2:38 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Nettleton up 42-12. And the football gods just hate the TMC. I was looking forward to a turnover, touchdown drive, turbo clock. TMC is home at a decent hour. As it is, Brookland's got the ball, and they're driving at the Raider 30. Raiders up by 30, 42-12. Direct snap to Wright. He slices through the Raider defense to the 15-yard line. He has a 1st down after a gain of about 15.
And a phenomenal run by Joseph Wright.
Yeah, he's a tough back, no doubt about it. He runs downhill, he finds daylight, and he's a good football player. They're going with Wright direct. They're right in the Wildcat formation. Direct snap to him. Bounces out right side. Nothing doing this time as he is tackled by Jordan Pegram, and initial contact made by Kylan Shelton. That's a loss of a couple. It's going to be 2nd down and 12. Minute and 52 on the clock. Clock rolling. Brookland inside the red zone of the Raiders. Ball at the 17-yard line. Boy, that was really good pursuit there by Kylan Shelton. Buddy Nichols says 2nd down and 11. Looked like 2nd down and 12 to me, but as always, I go with what Buddy Nichols says. He is the best in the business. Right, direct snap, running right side, and he's brought down over there by Blake Brown. Also in on the stop, Caden Newsom and Cohen Liggins. Right, gains about 4 yards. It's going to be 3rd down and 9 for the Bearcats. And the clock stops because of an injury, an injured player. Caden Newsom is still on the ground. Ball at the 10, or he's laying down at the 10-yard line. The ball is at the 15. It's 3rd down and 9. The injury timeout stops the clock at 1:10. Nettleton has a 42-12 lead. The second quarter, there were 40 points scored in the second quarter. Nettleton scored 28 of them. Brookland scored 12. The third quarter is just a minute and 10 seconds away from expiring, and there has been 0 points scored in this quarter. Let's hope that Caden is okay. Caden Newsom getting his first start of the season. Coach Hampton's out checking on him, as well as some members of the training staff here at Nettleton. Made the stop on that one, and maybe he just has a little stinger perhaps after a big tackle. They're trying to pull him up now, it looks like. Caden he's up on his feet. Seems to be walking gingerly, kind of holding his sternum area, holding his ribs. Maybe he got just hit hard, got his breath knocked out of him maybe, but Caden is walking okay, and that's a good sign. But it's 3rd down and 9 for the Bearcats. The ball on the Raider 15-yard line. Joseph Wright, the quarterback. They're direct snapping the ball to him, and he gives it to the running back this time. He's down to the 10-yard line, short of the first down, but obviously 4-down territory. It's going to be 4th down and 2 for the Bearcats. Clock is at 50 seconds and ticking. It'll be 4th and 3, Buddy Nichols says. 4th and 3. Ball on the Raider 9-yard line. Sound system kicks in. Raider faithful shouting for the defense to hold them right here. This will be the Raiders held them on a 4th down attempt earlier, but then they were whistled for a face mask after the play, and it was a 15-yarder. It's a offsides penalty called against the Raiders, and that's going to move the chains. So it's going to be 1st down and goal to go for Brookland. The ball will be on the 5-yard line. The Raider faithful says boo, and the TMC echoes that sentiment. I don't like that call. Maybe the right call, but I don't like it. 1st down and goal to go on the 5. Joseph Wright, the quarterback, in the Wildcat formation. He's running the ball straight up the middle. He's tackled by Jordan Pegram short of the goal line. It's going to be 2nd down and goal to go from the 3, and that should be the last play of the 3rd quarter. And it does. That will be the end of the 3rd quarter. You scored Nettleton 42, Brookland 12. Back in 60 seconds with more Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network. We can't hear the commercials.
Huh? It crashes pretty often. We had that issue in basketball season. It was bad. Let's go. I was our basketball director last year. It was nothing against directing. It's just not as fun as this.
I wish I knew why we can't hear them. And we welcome you back to Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network. Fourth quarter just getting started. Nettleton with a 42-12 lead. Brookland, however, with the ball, second down and go. Fumble on the play. Fumble on the play. Wright, the ball carrier, he fumbles it, and it looks like he recovered his own fumble. So it's going to be third down and goal to go. The ball is spotted at the 5-yard line, a loss of a couple on that. Third down and goal to go for the Bearcats. The ball on the between the 4 and the 5-yard line. The 4-yard line is what the scoreboard says. The Raider defense with the 4-man front. Actually, they're going with a 5-man front right now, trying to stop this Bearcat rushing attack. Charles Wright, he's going to pass, and it's complete to number 48. Touchdown, Bearcats.
What a trick play by the Brookland offensive coordinator. Set right up for a little jump pass, finds the man in the end zone. That's number 48. I believe we didn't have his number earlier, and we still aren't with that one.
Yeah, don't have number 48's number, so we apologize to him and his family. We're not able to call his name. But he caught a touchdown pass, and that makes it 43-18. And you got my word, Jacob. That's the last time this season I'm going to mention the turbo clock. I root for it every game, and when I mention it happening, the wheels just kind of fall off. Nettleton still up big here in the fourth quarter. And Cunningham back in. He is under pressure. They're going for 2. Reverses direction. He's brought down by the Carpenter, Jamie Morris. The 2-point conversion, no good. So with 11:11 remaining in the game, the score is now Nettleton 42 and Brookland 18. Take a 30-second break. More Raider football when we come back after 30 seconds. You've tuned in to Raider football on the Ticket Sports Network.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
We welcome you back to Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network. Great night at Nettleton. Temperature is just perfect out there, and the Raiders are up 42-18 over the Bearcats. They led 14-0 after the first quarter. They led 42-12 at the half, and Brookland just scored here in the fourth quarter, making the score 42-18. Joseph Newhung is perfect, 6 for 6 in PATs. Brookland has gone for 3 2-point conversions and not been able to make any of them. I would watch the onside kick here. A couple of years ago, Brookland was here, and they got 2 or 3 onside kicks and made a game out of it. They boot it high, and it's going to be fielded at about the 25-yard line by the Raiders. That's Keandre Pope. Keandre weaving his way through the kickoff coverage team. A good return by the Pope. He is slung down at the 47-yard line of the Bearcats, and let's hope Keandre is all right. He's a little bit slow getting up. He has been a workhorse for the Raiders the last 2 weeks as the running back, and he is all right. Good return by the Pope. The Raider offense going back to work.
And that's a good return by Keandre Pope.
Yeah, Keandre is a little shook up. He's coming back. He's coming to the sideline. Kylan Shelton is going in as the running back. Kylan Shelton is an outstanding football player. Great nickel back and a tremendous running back. Let's see if number 22 gets some carries. Maddox Sampson from the gun. Gives to Q Thompson. Q Thompson running right side, cuts upfield across the 40-yard line, close to the first down. They may give him a first down on that. He gains about 10 yards. Good run by Q Thompson. Yeah, that's going to be a first down, Raiders.
What a run by Q Thompson. I love the jet sweep play we're running, and Q Thompson is an athlete, and he's working with it.
Yeah, he is definitely a dangerous force out there on the field. You're going to have to account for number 5. You're going to have to account for number 13 when you play these Raiders. Kylan Shelton in the backfield with the Mad Dog. They give to Kylan Shelton. Kylan Shelton, the play is whistled dead before he can get going good. Let's see what the call is. It's going to be a dead ball, false start against the Raiders. So that'll back us up 5 yards. 10:33 remaining in the game. Nettleton up big, 42-18 over Brookland. First and 15. Maddox Sampson, Kylan Shelton in the backfield. Mad Dog gives to Kylan Shelton. Kylan Shelton battling his way forward, and he has a short gain. Gain of about 2. We'll call it second down and 13.
And that was a great stop by that Brookland defensive front. They came in quick and found a little outside gap to squeeze through.
Celtic Keandre is all right. He was shaken up on that kickoff return. He got thrown to the turf very hard. A.D. Burnett coming into the game for the Raiders at tight end. Mad Dog is in the backfield with Curtis Smith and Kylan Shelton. And they play the whistle. They blow the play dead. Nettleton calls a timeout. We'll take a 30-second break with them. 9:40 to play in the game. Nettleton up 42-18. Back in 30 with more Raider football on the NTV Sports Network. And we welcome you back to Raider football on NTV. Nettleton with a 42-18 lead. Nettleton with the ball, second down and 13. Ball on the 40-yard line of the Bearcats. The Mad Dog, Maddox Sampson, back to pass. Hit right as he's throwing deep, and boy, Q Thompson is mauled, and that's going to be a pass interference call against the Bearcats.
I like that call. I mean, he was
tackled
before the ball even got to him.
That's one of those easy calls to make right there. If we were playing professional rules, the Raiders would have it 1st and 10 inside the 10-yard line. High school rules, pass interference is a 15-yard penalty. So the ball will be spotted at the 25-yard line of the Bearcats. 9:34 to play. Nettleton with a 42-18 lead. The Mad Dog, Maddox Sampson, in the gun. Kylan Shelton, the running back, to his right. He gives it to Kylan Shelton. Kylan runs left, cuts upfield. He's at the 5. He's into the end zone. Kylan Shelton with a 25-yard touchdown run. Touchdown Raiders. Touchdown Kylan Shelton.
And what a run by Kylan Shelton. He broke loose, found the gap. What a gap made by that offensive line. And Kylan Shelton finds the end zone. Touchdown Raiders makes it 48-18 with 9:28 remaining in the fourth quarter.
So Joseph Newhung out to attempt his 7th PAT. He's 6 for 6 so far. Caleb Tedder, the holder. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and the kick is good. Joseph Newhung, automatic tonight. He just might be our player of the game. Joseph Newhung has done a phenomenal job. 49-18 the score. 9:28 to play in the game. Back in 30 seconds for more Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network. And we welcome you back to Raider Field, where Nettleton has had their way with the Bearcats tonight here. 49-18 the score. Doing the math in my head, 31-point lead. Is that correct? 31-point lead. Thank you to Jim McDaniel, Charlene Jernigan for teaching me how to do the arithmetic in my head. Antonio Alvarez boots it deep, and it goes out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. They will throw the flag on that. Not supposed to be able to do that. That's a penalty, and they will put the ball at the 35-yard line. That's where Brookland will take over 1st and 10. 9:28 on the clock. Nettleton outscored Brookland 14-0 in the first quarter. Outscored them 28-12 in the second quarter. No score in the third quarter. Here in the fourth quarter, Nettleton has outscored Brookland 7-6. Add all those numbers together, it's 49-18. Bearcats back in action. Joseph Wright, the quarterback, direct snap to him. He gives to the running back, number 28, and he's brought down by Tyler Craig. Tyler Craig from the linebacker position makes the stop. Maybe a gain of a half a yard. It's going to be 2nd down and 9.
That's a good stop by Tyler Craig. Met him before he can get very far, and what a stop by TC Tyler Craig.
So 2nd and 9 for the Bearcats. Joseph Wright at his own 30-yard line. Direct snap to him. He's running the ball. He's wrapped up by Jordan Pegram. And falls forward for a gain of about 6. It's going to be 3rd down and 3 for the Bearcats.
And he was brought down by a group of Raiders after a nice little gain. I think about 7.5. Good run by Joseph Wright.
3rd down and 3 for Brookland. Nettleton with 4 down linemen. Joseph Wright behind center in the shotgun position. He's going to run it. Runs into a wall of Raiders, but makes his way down for a gain of about 4, and they're going to move the chains. 1st down Bearcats. Clock will stop at 8:08, long enough for them to set the chains in the new position. And it'll be 1st and 10, Brookland from their own 45. Brookland brought a nice crowd of Bearcat fans to Raider Field tonight. Sure glad that they're here. Hope they're enjoying the nice weather and the atmosphere. 1st down and 10, this crosstown showdown. Wright stopped at the line of scrimmage by a host of Raiders, led by Nettleton's number 51, the outstanding sophomore, Keon Stallings. No gain on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
That's a good stop by that host of Raiders. Keon with a great lead there, and just he leveled Joseph Wright. What a play.
Keon Stallings and the proverbial host of Raiders. 2nd down and 10. Joseph Wright's going to pass. He's looking deep. A lot of shoving going on. It's complete downfield to Spratt. Boy, it's a long pass. He's still on his feet. Finally brought down about the 21-yard line. Spratt just went up and got it. Big-time play. Big-time pass from Wright to Spratt. I said Spratt. Make sure I'm getting that right. Yeah, Spratt.
Quite the catch and quite the throw. I'm not sure if Joseph Wright needs to be playing running back. They might need to put him at quarterback.
He's shown that he can run and throw it for sure. 1st and 10 for Brookland. The ball at the Nettleton 21-yard line. Wright running right up the middle, and he is stopped by Jordan Pegram. Well, they got to blow that play dead. Just kind of a rugby scrum right there, and that's a good way to get some kids hurt. They finally do blow it dead, and his forward progress is going to be a gain of 5. It's going to be 2nd down to 5. Understand the refs' situation there. The pile was slowly moving forward. Did come to a stop and then slowly move forward a little bit more. Gain of 5, 2nd down and 5. Joseph Wright, who is going to be one more sore young man in the morning. Direct snap to him. Running right up the middle. And he is close to a first down. I think Nathaniel Gonzalez in on the stop, and so is Jordan Pegram. Going to be a first down for the Bearcats, and they'll be first and goal to go from the 10-yard line.
And that's a good run by Joseph Wright, who is met by a herd of gray jerseys. Just great physical runner in Joseph Wright.
Would you say a plethora of gray jerseys?
I would say plethora. That was a word of the week not so long ago.
Did you ever see the movie Three Amigos?
I have not.
All right, that's your assignment for the weekend. Watch Three Amigos, one of the greatest comedies of all time. First and goal for the Bearcats at the 10. Joseph Wright's going to pass. It is incomplete, intended for number 6, and that is Sinquan Spratt, knocked away by Brendan Alexander, and it's going to be second down and goal to go for the Bearcats. The incomplete pass stops the clock at 5:28. Nettleton with a 31-point lead, 49-18.
And phenomenal coverage by Brandon Alexander on Sinquan Spratt. Brandon Alexander is always at a height disadvantage, but just put on a great defensive showdown there.
Nate Ellis also helping him out there. Brandon Alexander plays basketball for the Raiders. Man, I love the way that young man played the game of basketball last year. Had a great season for Nettleton. Sure glad he's out on the football team. Love these dual sport athletes. Joseph Wright running left side. He is hit by Kylan Shelton, who hangs on to him. Tackle for a loss. Kylan Shelton, a loss of 5. It's going to be third down and goal to go from the 15. Big stop by number 22, Kylan Shelton. He's a football player.
He is, and he's a phenomenal one at that, and he always loves to play the game physical. Kylan Shelton with a great shoestring tackle and just way to hold on for dear life.
And they called the penalty against Brookland, illegal shift against the Bearcats. I think that's a dead ball foul, so that play shouldn't count. They lost 5, but the penalty would be 5 yards, so let's see how they sort all of that out. In the meantime, there is an injured player on the field, and that is a Nettleton player. It looks like a cramp is what it looks like, but maybe it's more than that. Let's hope not. I can't see a number just yet. We'll tell you who it is as soon as number 28 gets out the way.
I think that might be our number 28. No, never mind. I see him up. He's over there.
Yeah, I can't tell who it is. Now they're getting him up. That's number 51. That's Keon Stallings. And Keon, I believe that's a cramp. He is walking very gingerly. I sure hope that's all it is. Keon Stallings, he's an important cog in this Raider machine. The ball is on the 15-yard line. The Bearcats have it, and it should be third down and goal to go from the 15. Yeah, illegal shift, and it's declined by the Raiders. I guess that was not actually a dead ball foul. Penalty is declined. Obviously, Nettleton will decline the penalty because they'll get the loss and the loss of down. So third down and goal to go on the Raider 15. 5:17 remaining in this game. Joseph Wright standing at the 20-yard line in the shotgun. He's running right side. Finds a crease. He's inside the 5-yard line before he's brought down. Nathaniel Gonzalez in on the stop, as is Jordan Pegram. And flags are flying after the play, and that's going to be probably some type of personal foul and sportsmanlike conduct. Let's hope it's on Brookland and not Nettleton. The line judge called it. He obviously saw something, heard something he didn't like, and if it's against Nettleton, it's going to be first down and goal to go from about the 3. Personal foul against Nettleton. Good grief. So instead of fourth down and goal to go from the 5, it's going to be first down and goal to go from probably about the 2.5-yard line. Don't know what exactly happened there and if that was worthy of the call, but I know that's a frustrating penalty against the Raiders. It's going to be fourth down, and I said it's going to be first down. I thought it was automatic first down. I was incorrect about that. It is actually fourth down and goal to go from the 3-yard line, the 2-yard line. And Brookland elects to call a timeout. Be a good time for us to call a timeout, too, see if we can't sort all this out. Back in 30 seconds. Nettleton up 49-18. Back in 30 seconds with more Raider football on NTV and the Ticket Sports Network. 2, 3, 4. And we welcome you back to Raider Football on NTV. Make sure that you hang around after the game for the post-game show presented by More Air Conditioning, and close out your night with the Kavanaugh Auto Group Friday Night Light Scoreboard Show. My buddy Will Oswald has all the scores for you as soon as they go final. He'll talk with coaches and broadcasters from around the area. That's Friday Night Light Scoreboard Show at 9:30. You can find it at 95.3 on your FM dial. 4th down and goal to go. The Raider defense is out there. The Brookland offense is out there. Joseph Wright, the quarterback. He's going to run it right up the middle. He stopped short of the first down, but he's pushing forward, and he has stopped short of the first down. It's going to be a turnover on downs. Nettleton will take over at about the 1 yard line. Good defensive stop by the Nettleton Raider D.
And that's a fantastic stop. And the ball position might not be ideal for the Raiders, but a great stop and way to keep the Brookland Bearcats out of the end zone.
49-18 the score. The ball is about the 1 foot line of the Raiders. And Maddox Hampton stands in his end zone in the shotgun formation. Number 26, the running back for the Raiders, that's Fred. Fred Atkins, the running back. He gives to Fred. And Fred's tackled in the end zone. That's a safety. Oh, my word. All right. So Fred got the ball. Right said Fred. And the Bearcats tackle him in the end zone. That's a safety. Mercy Daddy. I didn't see who made the stop. Did you?
I didn't see it either. I was watching Fred run.
I was excited for Fred there for just a second. He was getting a carry, and I'll be danged if they didn't tackle him for a safety. So we'll keep it right here. Brookland makes it a 49-20 game. A defensive score for the Bearcats, a safety. Nettleton will have a free kick from the 20. They'll have to kick the ball off by rule, and you get a safety, you get the ball back. Nettleton will free kick it from the 20. So Brookland will have better than normal field position after this. They call it a free kick because they've got the choice of punting it. They've got the choice of kicking it. See what the Raiders decide to do. There's no tee out there, so it's now then Antonio. He brought the tee with him, so Antonio is going to tee it up, and he's going to kick it deep. Number 6, Sinquan Spratt is back deep. Kick is high and deep and fielded by Spratt at the 40-yard line. He's right up the middle, and Nathaniel Gonzalez brings him down. An assist from the Junebug, Derek Island Jr. And the Bearcats in business. They got good field position inside Nettleton territory. It's going to be 1st down and 10 for the Bearcats. And I'm not going to tell you where it's going to be because there's a flag on the play, a block in the back against Brookland. That's a spot foul. So we'll see where it happened, and they'll mark off 10 yards, and that's where Brookland will take over.
I think the spot foul happened about the 46-yard line of the Raiders.
So the Raider defense going back out there, and I believe we're going to get some of our second defensive unit out there on the field. First and 10 Bearcats from their own 43-yard line. 4:18 to play in the game. Nettleton up big, 49-20. Cunningham, quarterback keeper, and he is shoestring tackled by Nettleton's number 29. That's Nate Ellis with the stop. Short gain. It's going to be 2nd down and 9.
That's a good shoestring tackle by Nate Ellis. That Wildcat quarterback, I believe their number 28, Stinnett, got nowhere.
Yeah, Brookland also got some of their reserves out there as well. You're going to have to help me out with who all we got. That's Malachi Stinnett, who is the quarterback for the Bearcats. And he's going to run it, and he got has his helmet taken off. Has his helmet taken off by Nettleton's number 74. That is Juan Cubero, and then Juan got shoved down by Brookland's number 74, Peyton Grimes. There should have been a flag on that. That was definitely an unsportsmanlike play, but I don't know if the referees are going to call it. But it's definitely a penalty against the Raiders. As he ripped his helmet off of him. I was hoping that maybe we'd get some offsetting penalties, but a 15-yard penalty, 3:22 on the clock. And because of the TMC jinx, turbo clock's not going to kick in.
Not only you jinx the Raiders, you also jinx the Cardinals.
I have been known to jinx the Cardinals, turbo clock. I'm just going to learn one of these days to keep my mouth shut. Stinnett. He makes it back to the line of scrimmage before he is brought down by the proverbial host of Raiders. In on the stop, Jordan Pegram, Nathaniel Gonzalez. Short gain, but it's going to be 2nd down and 10. Less than 3 minutes now to play. 2:54 and ticking. A lot of Brookland reserves out there, but they still got some starters in, as does Nettleton on the defensive side, but there's several guys that are seeing some action who normally don't get to. Stinnett running left side to the 40-yard line before he's brought down. Clark Phillips in on the stop. Also in on the stop for the Raiders is number 40, Tristan Crawford. So it's going to be 3rd down and 4 for the Raiders. And Nettleton has elected to call a timeout. I'll tell you what, we will keep it here. We apologize. We're having some kind of technical difficulty, and we're unable to hear from the radio station. Hopefully you're able to hear the commercials on the live stream. I've had people texting me saying they can't hear the commercials, but they can hear us for some reason during the commercial break. But whatever the issue is, the guys at EAB, they'll definitely get it figured out. And we appreciate our partnership with East Arkansas Broadcast. And make sure that you hang around for the scoreboard show afterwards. Brookland quickly back to the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd down and 4. Number 33, quarterback. I believe that's Jake Reese. That is Jake Reese who has the 1st down. Good run there by Jake Reese. He is tackled by Nathaniel Gonzalez at the 25-yard line. And how about that? Jake Reese, the son of Jared and Dina Reese. Good friends of mine, actually, Jacob. Good run there by Jake Reese. It sure was. He found the hole and hit it hard. What a run by Jake Reese. Jake Reese conditioning. Great win for the Raiders tonight as they defeat the Brookland Bearcats by the score of 49-20. We'll have the name the JOSM player of the game here in just a few minutes, but before we do, let's recap the game. Nettleton got the scoring started in the first quarter of the very first drive as they as a little trickeration, a little trick play. Cortez Smith hit Cordarius Thompson with a 35-yard touchdown strike. Joseph Newhall moved the PAT, and that made the score 7-0. And then Cortez, 53 seconds remaining in the first quarter, made the score 14-0. Newhall with the PAT, 14-0. That was the score at the end of the first quarter. The second quarter, it was wild and woolly. The Raiders got on the board first with 8:23. A 24-yard touchdown pass from Cortez Smith to Cordarius Thompson made the score 21-0 after the PAT by Joseph Newhong. And then Brookland got on the board. Their excellent running back, Joseph Wright, lined up behind center as a quarterback, ran the ball 28 yards. That made the score 21-6. Brookland went for the two-point conversion. It was no good. Nettleton responded with a touchdown pass from the Mad Dog, Maddox Hampton, to Keandre Pope, a 40-yard touchdown strike with 3 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Boy, it was just a flurry of scoring. Nettleton made the score 28-6 with that touchdown pass in the New Hung PAT. Brookland responded with a touchdown pass, 73-yard touchdown pass from Wright to Spratt. 2:08 remaining, made the score in the second quarter, made the score 28-12. Nettleton scored two more touchdowns in the remaining 2 minutes of the first half. Maddox Hampton hit Cortez Smith with a 32-yard touchdown strike with 53 seconds remaining. That made the score 35-12. And then the Mad Dog hit Cordarius Thompson with another 32-yard touchdown pass with 7 seconds remaining in the half. That made the score 42-12. Nettleton went into the half leading by 30. Joseph Newhong had 4 PATs in the second quarter. The third quarter, there was no score. Fourth quarter, Brookland got on the board first. A 4-yard touchdown pass right to number 48. We don't have number 48's name. His name is not on the roster that we were given. But a 4-yard touchdown pass from Wright to number 48 made the score 42-18. Apologize to number 48. Would like to give him credit he deserves, but just don't have his name on the roster. 2-point conversion, no good. Nettleton's Kylan Shelton scored on a 25-yard run. That made the score 49-18. So Keandre Pope is all right. Pope went an outstanding kickoff return, but was thrown down to the ground very hard and was removed from the game. Did not come back in. Kylan Shelton spelled him and did a great job as he ran the ball in from 25 yards. Brookland scored the final 2 points on a safety. That made the score 49-20. And that was the final score as Nettleton held on to a 29-point lead. Stats for the game: Maddox Hampton had 223 yards passing. He's close to 1,000 yards for the season, and he had 9 yards rushing. Cortez Smith lit up the scoreboard and scorebook as he always does. He had 2 touchdowns. By the way, the Mad Dog had 3 touchdown passes. Cortez Smith had 2 touchdowns, 1 on the catch, 1 on the run, and he threw 2 touchdown passes. He had 59 yards passing, 48 yards rushing, 91 yards receiving. What a game by Cortez Smith. Cordarius Thompson had 96 yards rushing and 118 yards receiving. Keandre Pope, 38 yards rushing, 55 yards receiving. Good game by Pope. And number 17 has Caleb Tedder, 18 yards receiving. Kylan Shelton, 22 yards rushing. And Nettleton wins this one by the score of 49-20. They passed for 282 yards. They ran for 213 yards. We appreciate Jeff McMillan keeping stats for us. All these stats are unofficial. The Raider coaching staff will go back and review the film, and they will have the official stats. But congratulations to the Raiders. him to you. First of all, thanks to JOSM, Jonesboro Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. They've been getting you back in the game for more than 40 years. And the JOSM player of the game is Nettleton kicker Joseph Newhung. Joseph was 7 for 7 tonight on PATs. And Joseph, congratulations, man, on a Raider victory.
So much.
Congratulations on a great night kicking.
Thank you, sir.
Finally, the kickers are getting their due.
Yes, sir. About time.
I know at times past you've said, Mr. Miller, you got to give me the player of the week. Well, I gave you the player of the week, but you earned it tonight. A lot of great performances, but you really kicked the ball well. Glad to see that. You're responsible for 7 of the Raiders' points. But I know you're a team first guy. What does it mean to you that the Raiders, after the heartbreaking loss at Batesville, come out and have just a resounding, dominant victory tonight?
It means a lot to me, honestly. Just seeing some leaders of the team that you wouldn't expect come up and bring everyone together. The focus was on it all week, throughout every play, every goal, play you're in practice. And even when it came to special teams, because that ultimately cost us the game last week, and we just put some ultra focus on it this week, and I'm really proud of the way our team was able to come back and persevere through this tough, low heartbreak loss. But this isn't the end of us. We're going to still come back harder next week and win the rest of the season.
I love it. Joseph Newhung, JOSM player of the week, 7 for 7 on PATs. I don't remember the last time that Nettleton was 7 for 7 PATs for sure. So very good game by Joseph. Very good game by the Raiders. That's got to be pretty fun to get to run out on the field after guys like Darius Thompson had 3 touchdowns. Would say 49-20. You got to be proud of how the Raiders answered the call.
Yeah, I am. I was really proud of how they approached the week. They had a great attitude, all the way starting on Monday. We had really some of our best practices, and they responded. I think they were eager to get back on the field, and play another game. And so you could tell that tonight that they were excited and ready to get back out there.
Very impressive offensive output. As you had over 500 yards, if my math is correct, 282 yards passing, 213 yards rushing. The offense was clicking tonight.
Yeah, it was. It really was. And we thought going into it that this was going to be we're going to have to throw the football because they were really aggressive. Their safeties getting down in the box and, helping out in the run game. And I think, we made some plays. I told you in our pregame interview that you might see a few unique formations, and
And I think we utilized just about everything we had going into it. I think there may have been one or two that we didn't get to, but you saw pretty much everything that we had in the game plan for tonight.
A true I formation, time or two.
The biggest,
biggest
yeah,
I
capital I. We call it the centipede.
Biggest I formation I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it wasn't real special for us, but we it had a chance, and their kid made a good play on it though.
Really did, and you had a couple of big plays from Curtis Smith throwing to Cordarius Thompson.
Yeah, because obviously everybody's seen his catching and running ability, but we wanted to showcase that he can throw it. So you better respect that and you better honor that, or he can make you pay, and he did tonight on a couple of those throws.
Maddox Hampton, your son, had a very big night as well. Unofficially, Jeff McMillan, we really appreciate Jeff keeping the stats for us. He has Maddox at 223 yards. I believe Maddox is close to 1,000 yards passing on the season. He's right there anyway.
Yeah.
Having a heck of a season.
Yeah, he's throwing the ball really well, which allows us to do some things with, routes, combinations. And you saw one that play right before half, that last touchdown before half to Q was something we put in about the middle of the week. And really, it's a route combination that you really can't utilize unless you've got a guy that can, get it there. You got to have a pretty strong arm, and he's able to do it. So it allows us to do some things that normally we wouldn't be able to do.
Yeah, that was quite a sequence there at the end of the second quarter as you put up 14 points within the last 53 seconds, and a couple of great throws, as the kids are saying these days, a couple of dimes from the Mad Dog to you primary playmakers this year, Cortez and Q. Just a couple of great throws and great catches.
Yeah, they were. The toe tap in the back of the end zone by both of those guys, really. We'd like to get Teddy, Caleb Tedder. We're going to have to get him one of those. We took a shot down the sideline and just missed him.
Right.
But we'll get him. We'll get him involved, and, his is coming. So, especially when they have to key on those guys as much as other teams are going to have to do, he'll get his eventually.
One guy that you have brought into the passing game more and more tonight was Keandre Pope. That was a tremendous pass by the Mad Dog to Pope on that 40-yard touchdown reception with 3 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, we thought we had him on the one, in the first quarter going the other way, and he just couldn't locate the ball in the air. It was thrown, and he couldn't find it. But we came back. We had another play we came back to in the second quarter, and he was open. Maddox put it on him and made a great catch and run.
Let's talk about the linemen. They don't get the credit they deserve so many times, but Maddox had all kind of time and all kind of protection. A good running lanes opened up. Your offensive line did a very good job.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Those guys have done a great job all year. Because they, quarterback, receivers, they can't do their job without those guys, and they've done an outstanding job protecting. Giving us time, and you give us time to throw the ball. Those guys are special, and they can go get it.
And the defensive line, especially in the first quarter, they just completely shut down Brookland's offense. They put up a 0, let y'all get out to a 14-point lead, and there was no looking back after that. The defensive line was good tonight.
Yeah, I think, and I'll be honest, I do not. I think that Brookland team. I think, they're not bad. They got some big kids up front. They got the running back. They got some size, physicality. I think they're going to cause people problems going forward. We were able to jump on them, and score some points. But, man, I think they're going to cause some people problems with the way that they can run the football and shorten games. And, man, I really do. And they've done it, in the past, and I really see them being kind of a sneak up on somebody in the upcoming weeks for sure.
Well, we wish them the best as they go forward. This is a good rivalry, a friendly rivalry. Crosstown. There's so many of these kids that go to church with one another. They live next door to each other.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's a good rivalry, and we sure wish the Bearcats well as they go forward. Got the Rams next week, Paragould Rams next week for homecoming.
Yeah, it'll be homecoming, so there'll be a lot of activities going on. We want our kids to have fun and enjoy it. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we prepare, and like we talk about it, we're the grand finale on Friday night, so let's make sure we're prepared and give everybody a good show.
Absolutely. You said fun and enjoyable. Winning is fun.
That's it. Winning is fun. Winning is fun and enjoyable, and you definitely want to win on your homecoming. So
no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Let me say one more thing, Coach, and we'll let you go. I know
Okay.
I know you probably want to go do some dancing at the homecoming
You
dance.
bet. You bet.
So summer's probably waiting for you.
Yeah.
But did the math, and the loss last Friday, which I don't want to talk about it much, but it had been 707 days since Nettleton had lost a regular season game.
Yeah.
Now, granted, COVID was
Right.
for
Yeah.
a lot of that, but that's a long time to go without losing a regular season game,
Yeah.
and that speaks of the winning tradition that you've built here at Nettleton. And so that's my hat is off
Well,
to you for that.
I'll be honest. Obviously, this is my 10th year. There's been a lot of coaches that have assisted in that, developing that, and our current coaches and players. Our kids, we've gotten to the point our kids expect to win. And they do. When I first got here, you go to places like Batesville and win, and our kids hadn't won there, and they didn't. Be honest, they didn't really expect to win going in there, and it's not the same mindset. Our kids expect to win every time they go out there. They believe in themselves, and that's where we're at. And hopefully we can just continue to build on that. We've got. I know our junior high team's doing awesome.
Yep.
So I don't think this is going to slow down. I think we're only going to get stronger and stronger in the upcoming years.
And that's great news for Raider Nation. Coach Hampton, thank you so much. Go and enjoy your victory tonight. Enjoy being with your family. Enjoy the dates you're doing. Absolutely.
Get warmed up for
next Friday. I love it, Coach. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's the homecoming next Friday. I'm saying this tonight, but that's the first mistake I've made on that. All right, for all of us here at Nettleton, for Ryan James at EAB, for Scotty Woodson back at the station, for Cameron Holder, who is our director for the live stream, for Caleb Robinson, Caleb Andrews, Brandon Troutman, all the Hee Haw gang here at NTV. Thank you for being a part of the broadcast tonight. Good night, everybody. Raider Pride is justified. Raider Pride forever. Good job, guys.
And we don't have to tear down because we're just here next week.
That's right. That's right. Well,
Do you want me to end?
yeah, go ahead and end it. You did record, right?
Yes.
Okay, you did the man.
Yeah, he did.